Grand Rising, everybody. Much love, much respect to everyone. We're going to start this off like we always do, playing some music and shouting out the sponsors, each and every one of y'all. Let's go. Grand Rising, beautiful people, Grand Rising. Let's go. Quick little tap in.
Class in session, so it's time for you to get the notes. The quickest way to sell your soul is when you niggas vote. This shit I'm kicking is forbidden, better listen, bro. A politician preaching love is the biggest joke. See, what they do is use this shit as a tool. Got us focused on these fools and putting shit in our food. Fighting to free your mind is kinda hollow but true. The system make you a zombie if you follow the rules, so we rebel. But not too many live it to tell, till they find the cheat code using digital scales. Paradise is aborted when the mission is failed. Heaven and hell collide like prison and jail. And you don't need religion just to say you awake. You even dumber than you look, you think you came from an ape. Religion needs science, science needs religion. One tell a story and the other paint the picture. But listen, nigga, if you dig a little deeper, you can find that little rabbit in the mother of the reaper. I'm the best for a reason. There's a message in the speaker when the cosmos talking. That's a blessing from the ether. One day I met the devil for real and made a deal with him. Told him all I want is the money and kept it real with him. Came in the form of a thought I couldn't build with him. Shit I was selling the fiends was really killing them. Your gun bars ain't much if your gat don't shoot. I'm strapped and bulletproof like the Batman suit. All it takes is one snap to have my enemies killed. The laws in space and time, I could bend them at will. Yeah, I'm in the world that some of y'all have not seen, and living on the page that some of y'all cannot read. And right now they probably calling me cheap, cause I decided it's enough and now I finally speak. Tell you the truth, I don't trust people who cheat. It's deeper than having sex, you give birth to deceit. If you see where this is going, this is true as can be. If you lie to the ones you love, then you do it to me. The cold word is rainy night. Niggas get wet outside, but ain't no rain in sight. They wonder where this come from. Ascension when it's all done. No reason to believe in a God when you become one. You understand? You could get it the same. Niggas will double cross you if you get them the fame. My soul ain't for sale just to get in the game. It's dangerous, homie, just remember the name.
It takes 90 seconds for this NASA-engineered AC cool down your room. It's smaller than a toaster, cools any room in 90 seconds, and use
Part 2, I apologize for the commercial. Grand Rising, beautiful.
They just wanna keep us asleep. I know this shit suck, but when the fuck will niggas wake up? I know this shit tough. Every other step you take,
the link should be in the chat.
Cause they go and show you the fly with some niggas pushed up. Religion is a part of the system, my nigga, listen. If you ain't got control of your soul, then you's a victim. The Pope all over the net with politicians. The same politicians who sleeping with little children. Time to make them pay for what they did to the youth. But freedom of speech is nothing when they censoring truth. You ain't gotta show shit when you live in the proof. Giving support to your oppressors, man, you niggas is goofs. Time to fight fire, get on some nigga shit. Time to get back what they stole, all of our innocence. Some people hate the way that I talk, this shit be spicy. But say a bunch of shit that ain't true, it isn't likely. They try to say your vision ain't true, but with your sight see. The best way to tear you apart is through your psyche. I give it to you real, what you need me to say. Ask the world leaders about the oath they secretly take. It's a plan that they got to keep us legally slaves. Paid labor overwhelming when you needed a break. If you think that I'm just talking it, bitch, you lost. It's a war going on like rich versus poor. The rich keep getting rich while you broke ass starve. Feeding you little pennies at that punk ass job. Thinking cause you get it in tax, you need that income. Really, I'm just stating the facts cause niggas been dumb. Your emotions are controlled by a system. Cause when I make a song full of hate, niggas listen. When I make a song about love, niggas skip it. They both from the soul, so really ain't nothing different. Today you gotta give it a fight to make the hate stop. Niggas on that ignorant shit gon' get a face shot. Believe what you wanna believe. A lot of niggas snakes, only going off of belief. A lot of shit is fake with 2 cans blazing. I'm ready for damnation. So tell a slave master I'm burning the plantation. You fuck niggas like to throw pain but can't take it. So all during war these flames remain sacred. Barrel to the root of your tongue, you niggas tasteless. Lights flying over your head, it ain't a spaceship. The reason why we fully equipped was information. It led us on the path that
Hey,
got
shout
us
out
out
my
of
brother,
the matrix.
L
Unity is
Boreac,
power beyond, we should embrace
my
it.
5
You could
double
never
X,
favor
Grand
the
Rising,
truth
brother.
when you were racist. Speeding off what you was taught, then the brakes slip. Then you see it's nothing you thought. That shit is
L
dangerous. A
Boreac,
lot of
appreciate you,
people
brother.
dying for what? That shit was aimless. It's kinda like a video game. It
It
took
took
stages.
stages.
Just make sure these lanes remain nameless.
Hood
Hood politics
politics.
part 2. My name
Name
dangerous.
Part 3.
Have you ever heard an old song that you really want to sample?
Apologize for the commercials, y'all. Let's go. That's it. Came to kick it with
Shit
y'all for
getting
a
out of
minute.
control, I mean we been there. Hate, they disguise it as love, we call it sincere. They took us to a place where ain't none of this shit clear. And we just look stupid, wondering how we get here. This government got us in chains cause they don't love us. They got us separated by gangs over some colors. What hurts more is we keep trusting these motherfuckers and putting bullshit that they say over each other. It's a bad world. Many cry in this sad world. A unicorn is compared to a black girl or any child. When you mix it, making life swirl. Gems meet a diamond and dance to make the ice swirl. Nigga, don't waste your time trying to hate on me.
Nope.
If you can't deal with your pride, then
Just
stay away from me. I don't fuck with none of that dumb shit. You heard that? Don't believe we live on the globe, nigga. The earth flat. First you gotta love yourself, then take the earth back. Find what's really important and make it worth that. Too much time in your hands lead to a dirt nap, but niggas don't keep the same energy to exert that.
What kind of freedom is that? What kind of social or political system is it when a black man has no voice in court, has nothing on his side other than what the white man chooses to give him? My brothers and sisters, we have to put a stop to this, and it will never be stopped until we stop it ourselves.
Mind over matter, but none of that'll matter when in life you're trying to climb and a nigga pull a ladder. Believing in the myth when reality is shattered. The lies never end unless you serve it on a platter. America made you a slave, then call you monster. Erase everything that we paved and say we conquered. Willie lynching is a system that really harmed us. It raped women, left children without their fathers. America, land of the free, home of the great. America, cage of the beast, home of the snake. But the fight don't stop when you gone. This shit a marathon. Everything they touched in this world, they made it terraform. The best piece of advice, stay about these pig sight. Fuck what goes on in the street. Nigga, just live life. You only get one of those, nigga. Don't play with that. Trying to dance away in the dark and never make it back. We got a lot of loving to do. Shit is getting worse. Hate run deep in these roots. It's like the shit is cursed. Murder everything you can name. The world gone berserk. Pedophilia real as fuck. It's even in the church. Music, we've been flaming it. No, it ain't no game with it. Just know I put my soul on the beat. When you banging it, this is for the shit that I see and won't play with it. Hood politics part 3. My name dangerous.
They attacked the victim, and then the criminal who attacked the victim accuses the victim of attacking him. This is American justice. This is American democracy. And those of you who are familiar with it know that in America, democracy is hypocrisy. Now, if I'm wrong, put me in jail. But if you can't prove that a democracy is not hypocrisy, then don't put your hands on me.
Shout out to my nigga Dangerous, man. All the network. All the network.
Listen, what if you can start a profitable online business by helping other businesses get
Apologize
access
for
to
the
capital
commercial.
and funding? The number one problem that
Wanda, much love and respect. Wanda Williams. Grand Rising, much love and
This
respect.
that
Wanda
Nickelodeon,
Williams.
Mary Jane and Opium, fresh from the FedEx
Thank you
chest.
for your
We got a
support,
load of them.
Wanda.
Yeah, tear this shit down like depression. The moral of the story is you get the lesson. I'm colder than the weather in Nova Scotia. The flow is colder. Turn down, you just like the lame dude. Get the shoulder, have these niggas swinging that Chris Rock when I pitch a boulder. My intentions was ill will. You cry. When I rap, get a pill feel. I can meditate and stay connected to the earth like a mill drill. They taught you to lie to your kids with Santa. I verse in the AI now, we got the answer. Don't kill yourself trying to be me with the tanner. My equal love getting blown like a blammer. Bow. I'm biased to the low comprehension, cause people claim both to get a mention. You cry. And we don't wanna hear that. Keep that over there. Gotta do better. That's if you knew better. But I don't wanna bore y'all with the talk.
Nope, we don't want to bore y'all over here.
Showgramming, executive sessions. Welcome to the upper echelon of Megatrons. And it's dangerous. Laugh now, cry later. Can that fly shit you talk manifest when you falling from a skyscraper? A headshot could be a mind changer. I'm just a nigga that could hustle the hustle, getting my side paper. You know it's over when the nine spray ya. Oh, we robbing everything that you got. We upgrade his personality, just like your chain that got faker, but the bullets like the ice in your drink. They shot chasers, too much talking. You going in places these cops take us. Prison is a mental design for time chambers. Procrastination is a disease, and God play. You got the full fifth, waving you down like hi hater. When your soul leave earth, you could let the sky take it, cause you thought shit was sweet. Laugh now, cry later.
Cry
Y'all know
later.
what it is, man. It's getting scary for you niggas out here, man. You know y'all feeling the pressure. This network shit, this shit real, man. Ain't number real shit over here, nigga.
Number real shit over here.
Y'all a dome shot. Dangerous, just put
Keeping
you
it real
niggas
with
in
the
the body
people.
bag. And now I'm about to bury you niggas, man. Yo, I'm back riding again. Dangerous and Cyphers, we gon' have to body him then. Yeah, these niggas done. We gon' have your whole crew on the run. This ain't a game. You niggas lame. Come and catch this flame. We ain't built the same. You niggas just like the cap of fame. The 40 will make your soul glow. Silencer on the end of the barrel where the smoke blow. I need a heat check. Lily from the logo. Smoke is out. You can smell my mojo. Fucking with Drake Cobbs, that's a no-no. This that big three. Boss Brown and D-Wade. Looking to let the heat spray. We pull up to your block like it's D-Day. We ain't playing, nigga. This ain't
Shout out my brother D. Allen Warren. Black motherfucker called much love to you and the family. D. Allen Warren.
Chuck the deuces, nigga, on the replay. They cheat him for passing. I chuck the deuces on the replay. But y'all know what it is, man. Chris Cyphers, Dangerous, Trey Cobbs, man. This network shit ain't nothing but real shit over here, man. Nothing but real. You already know. Y'all knowing how we get down, Joe. Network, nigga. Network forever, nigga.
Shout out my brother Haru. Much love and respect, Haru Grand Rising, man. Let's go over here to my nigga Sanchez, man. Grand Rising brother Haru. Much love and respect.
Outside in, inside out. Outside in, inside out.
Outside in, inside out.
We're gonna take this shit back, right?
You know we're gonna take this shit back, right?
Inside out.
That's my favorite line right there.
I see you.
Outside in,
Yes, big
inside
black,
out.
Karu.
Outside
Big
in,
black.
inside out.
Republican,
Big
Democrat,
facts,
Democrat,
brother.
Republican. All of them niggas hustling, so it ain't no trusting them. You've been voting all your life and still suffering. Student loans, daycare fees, sisters be juggling. Divided by the powers, pausing's got us perishing. Got you niggas walking around thinking y'all Americans. Obama got you fooled. You thinking he the Messiah when the truth is all of these presidents barbarians. Life short, but you trying to get your paper tall. All I'm doing is revealing lies they say to y'all. Back in the day, I would probably put that K to y'all. Now I'm saving y'all, and plus I'm chilling with baby doll. Maybe y'all will understand sooner or later before they depopulators and the oceans turn to vapors. Got me ready to blaze up like every night I'm burning herb, trapped inside this matrix, thinking how they done turned this world outside in, inside out.
Damn, they done turned this world
Outside in, inside out.
real.
Outside in, inside out.
You know I'm telling the truth.
Outside in, inside out.
Outside in, inside out.
Some real revolutionaries, we don't fold. I'm in the crib watching Malcolm playing Neo Soul. They get killed for jackets and buried for sneakers. I done came across some of the scariest creatures. For real, a lot of these dudes I don't care for. On Facebook posting pics of kids they don't care for. Therefore, it ain't no settling like the pilgrims. Hard living, and the prison's a large system. POs on the same team as state prosecutors. Free your mind, it ain't a choice, you gotta do it. Cause the judge and the goddamn lawyers be barbecuing. According to this constitution, you not a human. Freedom thrown away by plea deals they take. Rap beefs is fake. Meek Mills and Drake got me on Mary J. Every night I'm burning herb, looking at all this hate, thinking how we done turned this world outside in, inside out.
Outside in, inside out.
Outside in, inside out.
For real, shit is terrible.
Outside in, inside out.
Outside in, inside out.
Outside in, inside out.
Outside in, inside out.
Take a trip to Egypt to go and view the monuments and watch them ask you who built them. Now that's
For anybody in the chat, if you can see the StreamYard link in the chat, put a 1. I want to make sure I got the link in the chat because StreamYard been acting real funny.
common sense. Ask me marching to DC, it's some funny shit. Making demands to the people you spend your money with. You lack consciousness, I'm trying to get your head right. On this road to success, you gotta run red lights. My middle finger was replaced with a fist when I found out the matrix exists. And anyway, what's a middle finger that's waved in the wind versus the unity of a fist and a nation of men? Lies on the news, pausing in the food y'all eat. The White House just a house, the power's on Wall Street. Niggas thinking Jordan, sisters thinking abortion. Man, this shit is sad like notes from an organ. Got me smoking my portion. Every night I'm burning herb, all this pain I'm absorbing. Thinking how they done turned this world outside in, inside out.
Yeah, outside in, inside out.
Outside in, inside out.
Shout out my brother Poison Pup. If y'all can see the StreamYard link in the chat, put a 1. If anybody can see the StreamYard link, put a 1. Let's go. Somebody put a 1 in there if they can see it.
Crazy.
Outside in, inside out.
Fuck the TV. Yeah.
Outside in, inside out.
Outside
Outside in, inside out. Outside in, inside out.
Outside in.
No link?
Inside out.
Damn.
Outside in, inside
It
out.
ain't let me put it in the chat.
Watching.
I'm gonna try one more
Outside
time. Thank y'all,
in,
man.
inside out.
That's why I don't use StreamYard.
Outside in, inside out. Outside in.
Thank y'all, man.
Yeah. Threads 3000. You out of pocket, 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 pocket.
I'm gonna try to put it in there again.
You out of pocket.
Hey, hang yourself.
Yeah. You out of pocket. You out of pocket.
Leonard Robinson, much love respect. Leonard Robinson. I just put the link in the chat, man. Y'all ain't seeing that link?
Pocket, you out of pocket. You out of pocket.
Hey, hang yourself.
Yeah. You out of pocket. You out of pocket. Yeah. You out of pocket. You out of pocket. Check yourself. I'ma just do the race myself. Even when I sneeze, I bless myself. I'ma get through the rest by myself. Go to the Nike store and check yourself. Talking to the police, arrest yourself. Hate is a disease, test yourself. Suicide yourself, X yourself. Don't find me, find yourself. Niggas be and besides that stuff, please get lost, nigga, hide yourself. Spend all summer long by yourself. Kill yourself, outline yourself. Being solid as me, remind yourself. Monkey ass nigga, climb yourself. Transform Optimus Prime yourself. Bird box gone unblind yourself. Got to spend all day time yourself. Wine yourself, dine yourself. Bitch ass nigga, flat on yourself. The way you move, retire yourself. Find you a flunky and hire yourself. Worried about me, admire yourself. You a pretty good goddamn lie yourself. Focus on you, desire yourself. Loose shit, line, empire yourself. Stop hating every day and inspire yourself. Got 21 questions, wire yourself. Hate my style, get fly yourself. If it ain't working out, then fire yourself. Might as well rich or prior yourself. I'm laughing at you, you proud of yourself. You out of pocket, 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 pocket.
Shout out my brother Leonard Robinson.
You out of pocket.
In from Mobile, Alabama.
You out of pocket.
Just love it, Alabama, brother.
You out of pocket. 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 Pocket. You out of pocket. You out of pocket.
Hey, hang yourself.
You out of pocket. You out of pocket. Yeah, you out of pocket. You out of pocket.
Nigga catch amnesia. Play the victim when they don't need you. Just cut they water like the water people. Cold hustlers, no, you can't feed them. Need a handout for every reason. Bills late for every reason. Hit my trap phone for a few zones. Now you gotta play, nigga, I'm the reason. If you owe a nigga, then you out of pocket. Pay your debt, keep your name solid. Can't get a bag on cuss salmon without a piece of shake. It was all solid. Run off without a profit. Run you down with a pocket rocket. Them dirty hoes, they be out of pocket on Instagram, straight pocket watching. Greasy bitches all made up. Ass and titties been nipped tucked. Eyelashes can't trick us, and that last surgery looks silly. Sus, bald headed whole shit out of pocket. Rent late, but your nails proper. Pussy stink, girl.
Shout out my brother General Not Scared.
You out of pocket. 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 Pocket. You out of pocket. You out of pocket.
Hey, hang yourself.
You out of pocket. You out of pocket. Yeah. You out of pocket. 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 Pocket. You out of pocket. You out of pocket.
Hey, hang yourself.
You out of pocket. You out of pocket.
Oh, dude.
You out of pocket. You out of pocket.
Shout out my brother Old Dude, man. Old Dude, if you could email me that video you was playing last night, please email it to me. I want to play that John about propaganda. Because that's what the main topic is going to be. Propaganda. How they can push their propaganda on the TV, any type of media, and the news, the newspaper. They're allowed to push propaganda in the movies. That's going to be the main topic, propaganda. How they allowed to push propaganda, man. They push it with propaganda. They can push a lie. They can push a false narrative. How this corporation use propaganda to push their wars through the media, to push everything they did. they use propaganda. They paid this gentleman to push propaganda. And that's going to be one of the main topics today. So my brother, if you could send that to me, I would definitely appreciate it. You know, or any videos y'all got, my brother Poison Puppet, on how they push propaganda through this corporation. You know, get the people thinking certain way when that way is totally wrong. Thank you, my brother, old dude. Grand Rising, beautiful people. Yeah, I want to play back that video because I was listening in the cut last night. Well, you know, I was in the chat last night. You know what I mean? So it ain't like I was in the bleachers, and I gave peace, and I was responding to a couple topics y'all were talking about. You and the brother talking about different herbal remedies. Then you played the video about the propaganda. You know, I definitely was listening then. But yeah, send that to me, old dude, please. But yeah, that's going to be one of the main topics, man. How they allowed to push propaganda through their media and how that propaganda affects our way of thinking. So, main topic, man. But anybody can hit the link.
Yeah. Hey man, all them always got something to say. It's like you don't shut up.
A lot of niggas died 1865.
A lot of niggas died 2026. Still dying.
Everybody hiding black was never on your side. They too mad to tell your apps where you sleep at night.
Yeah.
They put that white man on. Got you begging them for answers like that white man know. Had you swearing you was African, that's that white man home. Had you proud to be a savage, that's that white man's zone. And I ain't talking shit, this my definition.
Main topic, propaganda.
We done took your ass out when we was in them kitchens. Instead of showing you how to live and how to maintain business. White supremacy fake. Only way that shit real is if you do what they say. We the guy to the gate.
So I totally agree, but
God, now you know what they made.
My brother Poison Puppet.
Shoot song. Move song.
They were doing that shit well before Obama got in office, brother. I definitely agree. Obama signed that don't ask, don't tell policy. But they were doing this shit in the 2000s, the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, the 60s, the 50s. They were pushing propaganda through the TV, through the newspaper articles, through government officials. Thank you, my brother, old dude. Thank you, good brother. Let's get back to the music. But that's going to be one of the main topics.
Move song.
Put us in the same room, he gon' go down. Hit a nigga with that boom, he gon' go down.
Show song. Move song. Show song. Move song.
Put us in the same room, he gon' go down. Hit a nigga with that boom, he gon' go down.
Every day my
Yeah, go
niggas
down.
dying, they don't know the truth. How the hell you close to God? We don't know it's you. Yo, how the hell you supposed to survive? We don't know the shoot. He should have.
And this ain't gonna be a live long. It's gonna be
I tried to tell them
a
all
short live.
Everybody ain't your partner. Everybody.
Because I'm coming back later tonight. I'm coming. Like I said, I may only do like an hour or two today, this afternoon, because I'm coming back tonight. We're gonna be talking about. The topic tonight is going to be AI sex tapes and the DOJ. Who really orchestrated the attack on Judge Eleanor Ross? Y'all know I don't do politics, but someone reached out to me and wanted me to bring up this topic. I don't know if y'all heard about the judge in Atlanta with the so-called sex tapes. She was basically, you know, allegedly fucking in her office. And, you know, allegedly got caught. So we're going to be talking about that later tonight. You know what I mean? So like I said, I'm only going to do probably an hour or two today, this show. Then I'm going to come back later and talk about AI. Shout out my brother Hurricane, man. Much love and respect, man. Make sure everybody sub up to everybody's channel. My brother Old Dude be getting it in, Hurricane, everybody else channels, man. But yeah, propaganda is what we're going to be talking about, and how they use propaganda and weaponized it against us, the people. You know, and a lot of our people believe the propaganda and not the truth, or not what's real. They believe the propaganda that this corporation's been pushing. They've been doing it through funding wars, food, you name it, they've been pushing propaganda. And for the longest. But yeah, that's the topic. Let's go. I'm gonna go to my email. In a minute, check my email. Already dead in the eyes of the law. We already dead. That's a fact.
Lower want these motherfucking bodies. Infiltrate they circles like a motherfucking eye. Take them to the south and put them down like OG Bobby. They don't want equality in this club, they want these private.
I got it, old dude. Thank you, good brother.
Move some. Put us in the same room, it gon' go down. Hit a nigga with that boom, he gon' go down.
Show some, move some, show some, move some.
Put us in the same room, it gon' go down. Hit a nigga with that boom, he gon' go down.
Couple more songs. Gonna go over here to my brother Enemies Public. Now I said Terror Dome.
Mayday. Delta 311.
They wave flags while they pat accounts. Blood on the ledger, they never count. Say freedom, but it comes with a mount. A fine print change you can't discount. War overseas, war in the streets. Same boots, different neck it meets. Foreign soil or your own front porch. Same justification, same cold torch. Sanctions starve, they say bombs liberate. At home they legislate, mongering fear and wait.
I got your video too, brother Nasir.
Hate calling it security while they regulate.
Thank you, brother Nasir.
Truth gets buried in the PR dust. Media mouthpieces telling us just trust. If democracy's real, why silence us? Why every damn question gets met with cuffs? Welcome to the Terror Dome 2.0, where the profits on the rise and the conscience low. Foreign and domestic, they overflow. We're enemies defined by whoever says so.
Much love,
Corporate
sister,
kings
you
on
and the
velvet
family.
throne, while the poor gets
None of your
crumbs and the
business.
predator alone. Open your eyes, don't be blind. Study the code. Recognize tyranny in your face when it's shown. Corporate interests write the law. Lobbyists sink the clauses you saw. Bailouts quick when the markets fall. But tell the people bootstrap y'all. Healthcare ration, rent sky high. Wages fall flat where the CEOs fly. They say sacrifice, but never specify why it's always you and never I. Military muscle, federal lies turned inward under watchful skies. Tools built for war now repressed against the very folks that they say they service. Surveillance creeping, step by step, nothing to hide. That's the bet. Till your name's on a watch list, set for a post. The march, a question kept. They blur the lines between peace and war. Normalize force, expand the door. When agencies pick sides and score, justice bends to whoever empowering more. This ain't about left or right, it's about wrong dressed up is right. When the law protects the elite's might and treats the people terrible and threats to fight. Tyranny don't always come in chains. Sometimes it comes in laws and claims.
You can't borrow your freedom from the man who profits from your chain. Freedom is taken by those bold enough to claim it.
I know America's going to war. But it's a war, President Trump.
Oh, dude, real quick. I sent you the link to the chat onto your email. Can you please see if you could post that link in the chat? My brother, old dude, I emailed you the link to this StreamYard. If you can you please put it in the chat for me? I'm gonna do it to my brother Nasir, because it's not letting me, StreamYard did not let me put the link in the chat. So I'm gonna try to send it to my brother Nasir too. I'm gonna text it to you, brother Nasir. If you can put it in the chat. Put it in the chat, please. Because it's not letting me do it. I'm texting it to you too also, my brother Nasir. If you can put that chat link in the chat, please, I would appreciate you, brother. Because StreamYard is not letting me put the link in the chat. And then go to the brother Nasir. Let me do it one more time. God damn. Let me see if I can email it to you. It didn't deliver, brother Nasir. That's why I don't like using StreamYard. They have not been letting me put the link in the chat. I'm gonna try one more time, see if it comes through. I sent it to old dude also. So let me get back to the music, man. Then we're gonna get started. Nope, didn't send.
A lot of juice. $750 billion was given to the
I'm
army.
still
You're only giving
using my old
which is
phone.
going to get more of them killed. Let me help you to see.
I'm using my old.
You can win, but you can't win being a thug. You trying to take.
Shout out my brother Voodoo Child. Much love and respect, Voodoo Child. Grand Rising, brother.
And get control of the largest oil reserve in the world.
Ever since a youngin', I've been running, getting to the kick. Dog, you ain't 100, this 100, let me demonstrate. If she ain't got brains, then I ain't tryna penetrate. And if you ain't a stand-up needy, you could get your dinner ate. I ain't buying all that real shit, dog, you benefit. To go on a dinner date, now we on the interstate. Might be a rookie in the game, but I've been a great. And we about autonomy, dog, we ain't tryna integrate. Man, we ain't tryna integrate. Was broke back then, now the youngin' seeing different kick. We don't go off feelings, we just make sure that the business straight. And if you ain't an intellect, then you can't get a penetrate. Local need you, now I'm getting love all in different states. Gotta need you, if you ain't got scars, then you can't relate. Preach the niggas, I'm just trying to make sure that my people straight. Woke nigga in a sleep world, trying to keep awake. Man, I'm just trying to keep awake. Bodies dropping in my city, damn Perry, keep awake. How another black man, y'all out, make it make sense. When the system got y'all niggas going through the same shit. Ever since a youngin', I've been running, getting to the kick. Dog, you ain't 100, this 100, let me demonstrate. If she ain't got brains, then I ain't trying to penetrate. And if you ain't a stand-up needy, you could get your dinner ate. I ain't buying all that real shit, dog, you benefit. To go on a dinner date, now we on the interstate. Might be a rookie in the game, but I've been a great. And we about autonomy, dog, we ain't trying to integrate. Say you shoot, what's your resume? Let me see the proof. Drilling shit, where your gang at? Let me see your troops. Getting money, pull up stunting on them. Let me see your coup. Genocide, they pointing weapons at you. You don't even shoot. Real nigga, how you say you real? You don't love your peeps. Family man, grind, feed your family, nigga. Fuck the streets, sliding on each other when the government the enemy. If we come together, we got power, nigga, in the beef. For real, nigga, in the beef. You ain't getting money, ain't no reason to be in the streets. Striving to be legends, we ain't trying to be a memory. And now you ain't my nigga, you my Niji Aborigine. Ever since a youngin', I've been running, getting to the kick. Dog, you ain't 100, this 100, let me demonstrate. If she ain't got brains, then I ain't trying to penetrate. And if you ain't a stand-up needy, you could get your dinner ate. I ain't buying all that real shit, dog, you benefit. To go on a dinner date, now we on the interstate. Might be a rookie in the game, but I've been a great. And we about autonomy, dog, we ain't trying to integrate. We ain't trying to integrate with none of y'all. Autonomy over equality.
greedy.
To have nothing without our mama.
Nothing. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Our goddesses, our goddesses. Where would we be without our goddesses? Our goddesses. How would men think without our goddesses? We would have nothing without our mama. Shout out to the auntie, sister, wifey, daughter. Yeah, we need our goddesses, our goddesses. How would we be without our goddesses? Our goddesses. How would men think without our goddesses? We would have nothing without our mama. Shout out to the auntie, sister, wifey, daughter. Yeah.
I think of your ways, your love never cease to amaze. Your sweetness is praised. It's where I find some peace these days. Beaching with babes, red grapes, peaches and shades, a leaf with some haze, that good wine, kiwi and lime. She be my kind and style, my everything here and now. That smile is something to see. You comfort in me. It ain't another place that I would comfortably be. You're like a freedom. I gave you my truths and you received them. The reasons that I've changed be easing me through these pains. Explains how I'm nothing without you. Something about you. I gotta get out here and be great for you. Plan to cop a crib with some land by the lake for you. A break for you. Open my eyes. You gave me hope and ways to cope when I feel like I'm losing it. You hold me and say no. Your love's dope and I need you. You're piercing my heart like a needle. Wanna hug and squeeze you.
Our goddesses, our goddesses. Where would we be without our goddesses? Our goddesses. How would men think without our goddesses? We would have nothing without our mama. Shout out to the auntie, sister, wife. Daughter. Yeah, we need our goddesses, our goddesses. How would we be without our goddesses? Our goddesses. How would men think without our goddesses? We would have nothing without our mama. Shout out to the auntie, sister, wifey, daughters. Yeah. Goddesses, my goddesses. Paradise she hypnotized me with her seductive lips. You magnetic and fire shit. I don't know what my problem is. Although I can't get a grip, I still never let her slip. Your touch can create peace to my soul. Inspiration from my examination of your creation has me achieving my goals. You my motivation to finding how to heal my soul. Keep it real when it's real. She taught me how to heal. She taught me how to feel. She taught me how to deal with the emotions that a man may feel. And for the home cooked meals, infinite gratitude, mama. Thanks for being there through all of my drama. Speaking of drama, y'all can be crazy, but that ain't stopping the option of you being my lady. Besides, between your thighs is that juicy passions that can seduce my savage. Is calling me, gotta have it. Her loving is how I function. No discussion. Our goddesses. Where would we be without our goddesses? Our goddesses. How would men think without our goddesses? We would have nothing without our mama. Shout out to the auntie, sister, wifey, daughter. Yeah, we need our goddesses. Our goddesses. How would we be without our goddesses? Our goddesses. How would men think without our goddesses? We would have nothing without our mama. Shout out to the auntie, sister, wifey, daughters. Yeah.
You ain't getting money, what you call it? Bank got a flow, no faucet. Mama roots from the garden. Motherfucker, why lie to a lame? No, the presence.
California breeze, Colorado weed. Meditate on a daily. Don't focus on my doubts. Hard work, never lazy. So prove me what I'm about. Real niggas will make me. Never see my spider out. My aura wavy. Overlooking all you clowns.
Class in session, so it's time for you to get the notes. The quickest way to sell your soul is when you niggas vote. This shit I'm kicking is forbidden, better listen, bro. A politician preaching love is the biggest joke. See what they do with use the shit as a tool. Got us focused.
When it's real, got to keep it real. Separate the real from the fake. If that's how you feel, then that's how you feel.
I know how I feel.
It's all about your timing and your...
My bad, y'all. I had a phone call. Shout out my brother, Reclassified Black Y Indie. And Private Lord. Much love and respect. Reclassified Black Y Indie. The Private Lord. DVD Radio. DVD Radio. Yeah, I made sure I shout out the goddesses, man. Shout out King Hire Yourself from GDB. Gotta give love and respect to the goddesses over here.
I don't break them for no
Radio. DVD radio. Turn up your speakers. Niggas, they was hating on me, but wanna feature. I don't fuck with none of y'all. I think y'all all lame. Your panel and your channel suck. That shit small change. Doper than some fentanyl. This for the music. That's why my shit ahead of y'all. I read the blueprint. These bitches hit the dot spot. She took her panties off. Make the shit make sense. We run the marathon. We gon' play some R&B. And you know you getting rap. Send it to the show. We gon' play it. Even if it's whack. If you really feel it, make it trash. Leave it in the chat. Tune in. Put the phone down. Leave it where it's at. Come and get familiar with niggas that be really up. Niggas drop bombs and got bars that be killing ya. This shit is dangerous, man. Y'all already know. You're now tuned in to DVD radio.
The sponsor over here, man. That's why I picked him as a sponsor. My nigga Dangerous. I love his music, man. There's definitely a message in his music.
Radio. When they see us in the building, they gon' hate on it. With that type of energy, I gotta stay away from it. You mad how we move, but you frontin' like it's cool. The better question is, nigga, who the fuck is
you? Man, shout out my nigga Dangerous, man. Let's stop that screen share. Grand Rising, beautiful people. And shout out my brother Old Dude, like I said, forgive me playing this video last night about propaganda, man. How it was weaponized against the people. How they used it to weaponize against the people. Unpack the lies. Let's go. You know what I mean? Let's go. Fair use, fair use, fair use. And the link should be pinned at the bottom of the chat.
America.
Old dude.
Down goes Frazier.
We choose life.
You believe in miracles?
The biggest celebration the Windy City has ever seen. Peace, it's wonderful.
Once the land of opportunity and health.
Fair use,
now faces an epidemic of obesity, chronic diseases, and addiction. How did America get so sick? Is this just a natural decline, merely the effects of bad decisions?
Fair use, fair use.
Or has this been meticulously orchestrated by powerful individuals propagating their ideology and goals? The US has the lowest life expectancy in the developed world. 40% are obese, 60% have a chronic illness, 50% will deal with mental illness, and the fertility rate of women aged 15 to 44 was 1.62 births per woman. This represents the lowest fertility rate in over a century. To understand where we are going, we need to understand how we got here. In the year 1953, America was on the cusp of a transformation. Post-war optimism was high, but beneath this veneer, a silent shift began in two critical areas of society: health and education.
Organizations such as the New York Psychoanalytic Institute have helped gain general acceptance for theories considered radical when first advanced some 50 years ago by Dr. Sigmund Freud.
After World War II, all government work dealing with health, education, and welfare of Americans was centralized under one massive department called HEW, the Department of Health, Education, and Welfare. Eventually, HEW would evolve into the modern Health and Human Services, and the Department of Education was split off into its own agency.
But HHS kept its title as the most expensive executive agency.
HHS is a massive agency. It includes Medicare, Medicaid, NIH, the CDC, FDA, and more. So it really does cover quite a lot.
With bloated research commitments and emergency preparedness projects.
Welcome to Event 201.
Taking the annual budget to over $1 trillion.
Health and Human Services could get an enormous chunk of change under President Obama's proposed budget. The president setting aside $1 trillion in spending.
We came to believe that big government was best for us because doctors were in positions of authority. This wave of government supersizing was a key component of the post-war New World Order, giving the federal government the resources and, most importantly, the power to enforce its edicts on the vast plains of our country.
As we recognize National Minority Health Month, I am happy to join my friends at the Office of Minority Health and throughout the nation to ensure that everyone is #vaccine ready.
To smoothly sell this New World Order takeover to the general public without any real pushback, the world's most prolific propagandist was enlisted to manipulate consumers to beg for this unholy change. There was a reason why education was included under the Agency of Health and Human Services, because the education we were given was meant to educate us to accept what they were selling.
Eat Wonder Bread. As much niacin for mental health as 6 sardines, as much energy as 2 glasses of milk.
What cigarette do you smoke, Doctor? More doctors smoke Camels.
Well, if I don't learn about propaganda, it won't be because there's no way to study it.
That's right, Chuck.
Let's take a Winston break. That's it.
Some are afraid that the DDT will poison them, while others suspect some sort of witchcraft. He now eats several spoonfuls of contaminated food. It's harmless.
He likes it. He likes it.
It's up to you, Mom.
Your family's breakfast really is up to you.
The alternative can be found here, where he should eat lots of grains, cereal, bread, noodles.
That food chart.
What scientists are telling us now is that the threat of an ice age is not as remote as they once thought.
We saved the bald eagle, and together we can meet the challenge of global warming.
The wizard behind the curtain of manipulation was a man who coined the phrase public relations, because the word propaganda just left a bad taste in the consumer's mind.
Thanks, Paul. My next guest is a truly fascinating gentleman. He happens to be 93 years old, and he is
shout out to my brother, old dude. Like I said, he played in this in his channel last night, and I was in the chat, and I'm glad he came through early because I liked the video. Because it showed how they used propaganda, how they paid this man to push propaganda. And I could remember a lot of the propaganda that went on. And it talked about in the beginning of the video how most Americans are obese. And we have some kind of pre-existing condition. And that's facts. You know, look at what Trump did with RFK, make America healthy again, because they knew Americans was unhealthy mentally and physically. They've been poisoning us through propaganda, through the food, through the water. The FDA approved it. That's how they weaponize propaganda, man. I experienced it, so I know what they're talking about. I remember a lot of these commercials. I remember when they used to say milk was good for the bones. I remember that. Cow milk good for the bones. I remember how they used to say the meats we eat, they were protein. We used to get protein from so-called the pig, the cow, you know, the chicken, when all it is carbonated fat, but they pushed it as protein that was healthy for us. I remember the propaganda. that was pushed. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all remember how they lied about, the milk, the meat. They called it protein, but all it was carbonated fat. And how they pushed the propaganda. Thank y'all, old dude. None of your business. Some of y'all are old enough to remember, like me, how they had the standard American diet with the meats up top and the vegetables in the bottom. And that was propaganda that they pushed. Poison puppet, thank you. Yep. Yeah, they used to say milk does the body good. Thank you, Voodoo. Big facts. The food pyramid. Yes, sir. How they, and like how they showed with the cigarettes. They got doctors and nurses to, puff on that Newport and say it's good for you. Nicotine was supposed to be good for cancer. That was the propaganda they pushed so they can sell the cigarettes. Multi-billion-dollar industry poisoning the people, allowed to poison the people through the CDC, the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, Food, Drug Administration. Food is a drug. They didn't let us know. Like I said, shout out my nigga for putting this video out, man. Because I was in the chat listening. But let's continue.
Father of public relations in the course of his 70-year career. Some of his clients have been Presidents Wilson, Hoover, Coolidge, and Eisenhower, Thomas Edison, Eleanor Roosevelt, and Enrico Caruso. It's a pleasure to welcome Dr. Edward Bernays.
The wizard, at the age of 93, opened the curtain to share with us his secret to success.
All right, now, Doctor, tell me again what the doctor is. What are we dealing with?
Well,
You're the father of public relations.
What we're dealing with really is the concept that people will believe me more if you call me doctor.
Oh, I see.
So if you portray yourself as a doctor, people will believe you more. And I can agree with that. A lot of our people trust doctors because they have degrees, because they so-called, study that form of education. But let's continue, man.
Edward Bernays had a doctorate, but not in medicine. His expertise was psychological warfare, and his mission wasn't to heal society, but to shape it with propaganda.
Intelligent men must realize that propaganda is the modern instrument by which they can fight for productive ends and to bring order out of chaos.
Bernays was born in Vienna, Austria, in 1891. Nephew of famed scientist Sigmund Freud, and deeply studied his work. Bernays started the idea that the masses by outside understanding, and therefore that the mind can be manipulated people fear.
There are invisible rulers who control the destinies of millions.
My bad, y'all. I got kicked out of StreamYard. We back. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me. We back. They don't want this information getting out. They kicked me out of StreamYard. That's why I really don't use StreamYard. Let me get some 1s to let y'all know I'm back and that y'all can hear me. Yeah, I was trying to rewind it back 30 seconds, 15 seconds, and it knocked me out. Thank you, Voodoo Child. I'm back, y'all. Thank y'all. Let's get back to it.
If you call me doctor.
Oh, I see.
Fair use. Fair
Edward
use.
Bernays had a doctorate, but not in medicine. His expertise was psychological warfare, and his mission wasn't to heal society, but to shape it with propaganda.
Warfare. And this, I think this is the part
Edward
I wanted to
Bernays
rewind
had a
back.
doctorate, but not in medicine. His expertise was psychological warfare, and his mission wasn't to heal society, but to shape it with propaganda.
Intelligent men must realize that propaganda is the modern instrument by which they can fight for productive ends and help to bring order out of chaos.
Bernays was born in Vienna, Austria in 1891. He was the nephew of famed psychoanalyst Sigmund Freud and deeply studied and promoted his work. Bernays touted the idea that the masses are driven by factors outside their conscious understanding, and therefore that their minds can and should be manipulated by the capable few.
There are invisible rulers who control the destinies of millions.
Invisible rulers.
It is not generally realized to what extent the words and actions of our most influential public men are dictated by shrewd persons operating behind the scenes.
Godfather of propaganda. Yes, sir.
During World War I, Bernays was hired directly by the US government to create what he referred to as psychological warfare, to combat growing anti-war sentiments at home and abroad. It was in this role that Bernays realized his practice of propaganda could be used in peacetime.
When I got back from the...
Yep. The corporation hired him to push propaganda. And like I said, our people, we believe most of that propaganda. They got people believe it. Let's go.
The war, I recognize
links in the chat. Somebody come up and let me know it's working.
Ideas could be as
everybody come up and let me know the link works
as anything.
It has as its target not the body, but the mind of the enemy.
And we're even more effective than bullets.
His first target post-war was the All-American Breakfast. Bernays was hired by the Beechnut Packing Company to increase their sales of bacon. Most Americans ate a small, light breakfast and barely consumed pork. So Bernays enlisted the backing of 4,000 doctors.
Now, who love pork? Who love pork? From the rooter to the tutor? Was that propaganda push? And now, like they're saying, you know, most people consume bacon in the morning. When in the beginning, we ate light. We didn't eat all the meat. They telling the truth about that. And how now bacon is the #1 consumption of breakfast. Pork.
To endorse his new breakfast menu.
If you don't like bacon and you're interested in your health, as 4,000 doctors say,
to Negroes, target
eat
I
bacon,
agree, we were targeted with this propaganda.
And educated the public what a hearty breakfast should look like, and then had the doctor's report published nationally.
Bacon and eggs and buttered toast.
There's
nothing like a good, healthy breakfast to start the day off right.
Today, 70% of bacon is eaten at breakfast. Next, on the agenda for Edward Bernays'
So
social.
Did the propaganda work with the baking? Yes, it worked. Where 70% of people are eating bacon in the morning, when they said that, you know, people wasn't consuming meat like that in the morning. We were eating light. So did the propaganda work? Yes.
Transformation was his groundbreaking 1929 Torches of Freedom campaign. George Washington Hill, the president of the American Tobacco Company, realized the potential market that could be found in women and said,
We have a problem. We're losing half the
None of your
market.
business. When we tell our people to stop eating pork, it's not good for them. They're like, well, my grandmother ate it and she lived to be 91 years old or 102 years old. You know, that's what they say. Not looking at that, basically, the United States sold the pork industry to China, and they getting Chinese pig. And when you tell them, you know, you ain't eating American pig, you eating Chinese pig. Well, shit, it's a pig. They love it. I'm going to say a flag on the plate. Black people, niggas, they love their pork. The propaganda worked. Just like we see how it worked when they talked about it early in times of war. They pushed the propaganda. Thank you, Voodoo Child. That way I know the link working, man. Grand Rising, brother. How you doing today?
Yeah, what's up with it? You hear me, bro?
Loud and clear, brother. Much love to you and the family. How you doing, brother?
Yeah. It's amazing that you say this, because I was just having this discussion with a cat about how much we think is us. I mean, because you could consider bacon a part of soul food that we think come from us that came from them. I be telling people, I said, bro, you just the perfect, I mean, I know disrespect Mr. Poison Puppet, but y'all the perfect puppet for the white boy. Because if you could take a good look at us when the propaganda started, we were suit-wearing people, dresses, kids was looking nice, shirts tucked in. All of us was slim, clean skin. The women didn't walk around with everything glued to their face and their head. You know, all that shit started when we started that integration and fucking with them.
I can agree with that, brother. Well, I always play that song. We don't agree. But yeah, thank you, Voodoo Child, for letting me up, man. But yeah, let's get back to the video, man. And thank you, old dude, for the video, man.
America, because there is a taboo against women smoking, particularly smoking in the streets.
Bernays had to change public opinion and eliminate the social taboo against women smoking in public. He gained advice from psychoanalyst A. Brill.
He said, cigarettes to women are torches of freedom. And then he added as an afterthought, and they titillate the erogenous zones of the lips.
Bernays kicked off his social experiment by paying women to smoke their torches of freedom as they walked in the East Sunday Parade in New York.
We would get debutantes to light torches of freedom in the Easter Parade to protest man's inhumanity to women by the taboo against smoking.
The cigarette came to symbolize rebellious independence, glamour, seduction, and was a spark for the feminist movement. Bernays ingeniously linked cigarette smoking with the theme of female emancipation. In 1923, women only purchased 5% of cigarettes sold. In 1929, that percentage increased to 12%, eventually peaking to 33%. Bernays' tactics were deadly effective and were
video, none of your business. I don't know. I may be they messing with my page, the channel. I may be buffering right now. I don't know if y'all can hear me loud and clear. Put a 1 in the chat. But you know how this government, this corporation, basically use propaganda as a weapon. And they showing examples, the cigarette with women, the bacon in the morning. Thank y'all, because my Crip Walk was good. Much love and respect, Crip Walk, Grand Rising. Beautiful people. Much love and respect each and every one of y'all, man. I'm showing this morning how they weaponize propagandas with the war, with, you know, how the corporation paid this guy. Michael Harris, much love and respect, man. How they paid this guy to push propaganda and shape the way a lot of us think today. But let's get back, because I thought the video was basically, you know, thinking they was knocking me offline again. Supreme abundance to you and the family, my brother, Crip Walk. Thank you. 100. YS Millennium, much love and respect. Peace. Yes, ma'am. Let's get back to the video.
Executive arm of the invisible government.
We've seen how
father of propaganda.
They push the same propaganda with COVID-19. It's coming out how they use the same propaganda and push COVID-19. And like I always say, some of us believe it's a message in the TV, when the TV is the #1 weapon that they use for propaganda, that they push still today. Who own the television? Who own the network? The Jews, the black hats. And they use that propaganda to push their agendas. But let's go.
Foundation for consumer-based mind manipulation and control, introducing us to the world of planned obsolescence, the practice of making a product to break quickly so the public has to perpetually buy replacements. He even planted the seed which would later become Netflix through his great-nephew, Mark Bernays Randolph. With doorways into the homes of every American, he's reshaping narratives disguised in the form of entertainment, promoting the goals and ideology of those who want to control us. But there are those who have glimpsed the true nature of the system, its vast, intricate web of intentions and consequences. They have peered beyond the veil, seen the gear.
Hey, shout out my brother, soul brother. Much love and respect to you and the family, man. My sister, the DJ Tanya Renee, much love and respect to you and the family always, man. Make sure y'all sub up that my sister, the Tanya Renee channel, Old Dude channel, sub up to everybody's channel, man. Please, that's all the OG acts. Good seeing everybody, Grand Rising, beautiful people. I'm showing in this video is how they push propaganda to, you know, to the people. And a lot of our people believe that propaganda. So yeah, power to the motherfucking people, man. Shout out my brother, Old Dude.
Understood the end game. To be the beacons of light in the encroaching darkness, to save those who will listen.
Are you rolling? That's awesome.
There's millions and millions of people out there that are not awake yet. And in order to wake people up, you have to take them through pain.
Waking up, and we are here because we will not consent. We will not consent to those vaccines being pushed on our children or on us.
We have to get fluoride out of the public water supply.
because it's damaging the brains of children, it's lowering IQs, and it's harming adults and senior citizens alike. It's a mass poisoning of America. It's got to stop.
Dr. Mary Bowden had been suspended for her comments on vaccines.
Bowden also accused the hospital of turning away unvaccinated patients.
Now people are terrified to go to the hospital.
We've got socialism creeping into every part of government and business. The time to fight back is now.
There are 500 million people there, controlled.
Man, they saying a lot in this video, man. Let's go back about 10 seconds.
To save those who will listen.
Are you Owen? That's awesome.
There's millions and millions of people out there that are not awake yet. And in order to wake people up, you have to take them through pain.
Waking up, and we are here because we will not consent. We will not consent to those vaccines being pushed on our children or on us.
We have to get fluoride out of the public water supply because it's damaging the brains of children. It's lowering IQs, and it's harming adults and senior citizens alike. It's a mass poisoning of America. It's got to stop.
Dr. Mary Bowden had been
Of
suspended
America.
for her.
That's what I want to talk about. The mass poisoning of America. How they've been poisoning us for years. And like I always say, the FDA approve it. The Food and Drug Administration. They'll approve it. Basically how they use propaganda to basically get into the mental. Like the guy said, propaganda isn't meant for the body, it's meant for the mind. Control the way the masses think. Have them thinking what's bad for them is good for them. And what's good for them is bad for them. And how they use propaganda as a weapon against the people, and how they still using propaganda, like I said, on the TV, the radio, the newspaper, the music, the TV. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all with me, man. If y'all understand why the OG is doing this. Put a 1 in the chat, please. Thank you, soul brother. I just want to make sure we're on the same page, which I know the people in here, we're on the same page. That's why y'all rock with the OG. And I thank y'all, and I give y'all that love and respect every day. I go live. I always make sure I shout y'all out because y'all are some of the smartest people I know. And I know a lot of people, man. I see the ones. Thank y'all. We on the same page of how they use propaganda, weaponize it against us. And I just want to, show y'all how they doing. And like I said, how they made what's bad for you good for you, and got us thinking it's good for us when it's really bad for us. I appreciate you and love you as much. My sister DJ Tiny Renee, thank you. I just try to keep it real with the people, man. Gas Man, what's good? Much love and respect, man. Try to keep it real with the people. And like I said, I was in my brother channel last night and they played it. And they had me, I was in my own shit like 2 o'clock this morning. I was like, damn, if I see old dude in the chat, I'm definitely going to holler at him and tell him send me that video so we can review that. Like I said, I'm not going to be live long because I'm coming back later. Come back at 8 o'clock tonight. We're going to be talking about AI. And we're going to be talking about the court system where this so-called black judge was allegedly fucking having sex while court was going on. And how they, targeting this flag on the play, this black judge. So I appreciate y'all too, man. Y'all already know. So, that was, off the topic, but letting y'all know that's what I'm gonna be talking about. We're gonna be talking about later tonight. The name of the topic is AI sex tapes and the DOJ. Who orchestrated the attack on Judge Eleanor Ross? That's what we're going to be talking about later. But back to propaganda and how it was weaponized against us. Yeah. And it even showed the example of bacon and how pork. And I got the video, none of your business. Thank you. She just sent me a video where China is painting the pigs black. And I'm going to play that too. But yeah, how they weaponize propaganda. Like I said, they gave the example, bacon. People wasn't eating bacon like that. They pushed that bacon. What did they name it? The other white meat, right? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all remember them saying, having the commercials on TV about bacon or pork being the other white meat. Let me see some ones, man. And how, like I said, we wasn't eating pork. We were eating light. We wasn't eating a lot of meats during breakfast. And then they pushed that pork. And now 70% of Americans are eating bacon in the morning. It just shows how they weaponized and pushed the propaganda. And how we're doing it right now. Thank you, Poison Puppy. Gotcha. Let's get back to the video.
Comments on vaccines.
Bowden also accused the hospital of turning away unvaccinated patients.
Now people are terrified to go to the hospital.
We've got socialism creeping into every part of government and business. The time to fight back is now.
There are 500 million people there, controlled by
at one point,
unelected bureaucrats.
They did call pork the other white meat, and it was pushed that way on the television system. I know because I seen it. They pushed pork as the other white meat. But let's get back to this propaganda.
Accountability.
The climate is even worse than we are being told.
At this point, this is an emperor has no clothes moment. That's the best description I can give for something that is so blatantly obvious and inarguable, can only be considered weather warfare.
I know you're doing. Thank you,
the fact that Kennedy or Trump is going to declare a state of emergency for health.
He wants to do some things, and we're going to let him go to it. Go have a good time, Bobby.
State of emergency.
When my uncle was president, we spent $0 on chronic disease. Now we spend $4.3 trillion. I can get the corruption out of the agencies. This is what I've been doing for 40 years. I have a PhD in
the corruption
and that's
out
what
of
I do.
the agency.
Jonathan W. E. Maud is a constitutional and administrative lawyer who has appeared before the federal courts
Sharon
and
Walker,
agencies
much love and respect,
for
Sharon
35
Walker.
years. He is the only attorney in American history to have defeated the FDA 8 times in federal court.
Our founding principles are derived from the concept of individual liberty. The founding fathers adopted a republic form of government precisely because they wanted to limit and check power in the hands of governors so the people would be sovereign. There are 4 great principles that define the American
Wolf was
republic.
good,
They're
top shot.
articulated
Much
in
love and
the
respect to
second
my
paragraph
brother
of
Wolf.
the Declaration of Independence.
Grand Rising. Wolf.
Then
Hope you and the family doing good, brother. Grand Rising. But yeah, we talking about, he's talking about how the founding fathers set up, this government to take the power out of, the governors and certain people's hands. But we see how the power is given to, a few. But let's go. We're talking about propaganda. Anybody can hit the link. A lot of us believe the propaganda. And how, they weaponize the propaganda, against the people. The government paid this gentleman to do it.
All men are created equal and that they're endowed by their creator, by God.
Bam. All men are created equal. Let's rewind that back. And got the God thing at the end.
With certain unalienable rights.
But God ain't real. So let's go back to that real quick.
From the concept of individual.
Here we go. I went too far. Give me a second. Let me find it. Here we go. Be right there. Let's go from there.
For 35 years. He is the only attorney in American history to have defeated the FDA 8 times in federal court.
Our founding principles are derived from the concept of individual liberty.
Here we go.
The founding fathers adopted a republic form of government precisely because they wanted to limit and check power in the hands of governors so the people would be sovereign. There are 4 great principles that define the American Republic. They're articulated in the second paragraph of the Declaration of Independence. That all men are created equal and that they're endowed by their creator, by God.
They're endowed by their creator and God. But the creator ain't showing himself to be real. You see what I'm saying? They throw that God in there, but God is an entity that they created and put it in the Constitution. So that way they can govern and control you and use God as a weapon against you. As we see, Rick Child, when he shot that young man in the back, they let him go not guilty. He was not guilty. He got acquitted for unaliving that man. So, like I said yesterday, if your vote counts, but your life don't matter to them because they acquitted that man for unaliving, flag on the play, that 14-year-old black boy. So your vote count, but your life don't count because they unaliving that young man, and he was a potential voter. So do your vote really count? If they don't care about your life, if you can kill, flag on the play, a black person, a nigga in cold blood and get away with it, do your life really fucking count to this system? My answer is it don't. And that's why I don't participate. Non-participation. It's not against the law. You'd have been smart if you didn't participate in that COVID-19 shot. Like I always say, you were very intelligent if you didn't participate in that COVID-19 shot. And how they use propaganda to push that COVID-19 shot. Let's go, man. These founding fathers, that we all are created equal under this God. But God ain't showing himself to be real. God is just something you believe in. It's an entity that they created.
With certain unalienable rights, among them the rights to life and liberty, pursuit of happiness.
Show me where we had this.
Government exists only by the consent of the government.
Constitution fighting for us.
And governments derive their power from the consent of the governed. These principles defined what it meant to be an American at the founding of the Republic. They gave us the Constitution. The founding fathers were deeply interested in limiting the power of the federal government. In fact, the Constitution defines a government of limited powers. Only those powers delegated are possessed by the government. Why is that? because they wanted to ensure that there was a maximum degree of individual liberty.
We need to elevate the Constitution of the United States, which was written for hard times. And that has to be the premier compass for all of our activities.
So in the progressive era, in the 1920s, efforts were underway by large...
That's why when I get in my debates about politics, I always bring up the founding fathers, especially to a black person flag on a play or a nigga, because they're not my founding fathers. Are they yours? Exactly. Sharon Walker, founding father. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's why these people that participating in these politics, man, they mind blowing. Because the founding fathers don't look like a nigga or a black person. Exactly. That's what the Sister Betty's out there, the Supermans out there. I always ask them. I even asked Superman when I debated him. If they're your founding fathers, because they're not mine. So are they your founding fathers? If you still for government, more than likely there is. And that's why I always
largely liberal activists to
Shout
rebuild in America an administrative state that had actually been in existence in Germany. And they learned.
I had to stop it. Shout out my sister Jews, Frosty Jews, 512. Much love and respect to my sister, flat motherfucking power. Always love and respect to my sister Jews. Make sure y'all please sub up to my sister Jews channel. Casino, what's good, my brother? Much love and respect to you and the family, man. Casino. We showing this video of how they, use propaganda, weaponize propaganda. And a lot of our thinking is from propaganda and how they weaponize it. So let's go.
To hate individual liberty. They learned that the Constitution of the United States, the Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence were all backward thinking for an industrial age. It's interesting, Franklin Roosevelt ran on a pro-capitalist platform against Herbert Hoover. He ran on a platform of cutting back government and unleashing market forces to solve the Depression.
I have said this before, but I shall say it again and again and again. Your boys are not going to be sent into any foreign war.
When he got elected, however, he then is influenced by two major forces in his administration. The Assistant Secretary of Agriculture, Rex.
Hey, the link is pinned. If anybody want to come up now. I'm going to walk away for about 10, 15 minutes, and I'm just going to let this play because it's an hour video. But they're talking about propaganda. So if anybody want to come up now. The link should be pinned. It's old dude. That's the StreamYard link. So if anybody want to come up, you're welcome to come up. We're talking about propaganda and how it was weaponized against the people and basically how the corporation paid the man to push propaganda on the people. So come on up. There you go. Hold on. Gotcha. Let me put my banner up. Grand Rising, how you doing, man?
Peace, bro. How you doing?
Oh, what's good, my man? How you doing today? I know who you are. I can take my banner off. I forget your other name you use.
Yeah, well, my new name the name of my new account is Hoodoo in Louisiana Voodoo. But really the reason I came up is because, and when I say this, a lot of times I get accused of trolling, and a lot of times, it's very happy moments. But I have to say this: I'm sure you've seen what happened down in South Carolina with that young African American child that got killed by them Asians. You saw
Yes.
that, right?
I did a show on it the other day.
And I appreciate you creating awareness. One thing I have to hold us as a people accountable for is when we decided to vote Democrat, we literally voted for policies to bring in more immigrants. And many of these immigrants are killing our children and mass incarcerating our own children. Additionally, even those of us that did not vote Democrat, you have a lot of African Americans within our community that refuse to report illegal aliens to ICE and immigrants to ICE. In doing so, we literally open the door for these immigrants to kill our children. I hope I'm wrong about this last part, but I have to say it. If we continue to turn a blind eye to mass immigration, if we continue to vote Democrat for them to bring in more immigrants, if we continue to refuse to call ICE on immigrants, more of these immigrants will kill our children. More of these immigrants will incarcerate our children. That's a fact.
Gotcha. Like I said, like I've been standing 10 toes down for a lot of years. I'm for non-participation in politics, Republican, Democratic, or liberal. I don't do that. And as far as calling, the police or somebody on anybody, I don't do that either. I don't fuck with the police. I don't fuck with ICE.
Hello?
You see
But
what
when
I'm
you
saying?
say that, do
I'm
you realize?
standing 10 toes down.
But when
I'm
you say,
I'm not for these foreigners controlling our land.
hear me
But
out. Do you realize when you say that you will not participate? Do you realize when you say that you won't report immigrants to ICE? You're literally granting these same
dig this.
immigrants
When I say I
opportunities
didn't
to kill
participate
these
in the
children.
COVID-19 shot, meaning I didn't take it. I'm for non-participation, sir. The smartest thing we
Did
can do
you?
right
But
now.
did you hear the question? Did you hear the question I asked you?
Yes, I heard the
Can I can
question.
I uh
What was
can
the
I cut
question
Go
I
ahead,
asked you?
Voodoo Child.
can I cut well he
What
asked
was the
you
question I asked you?
what he
The
said
question.
was what he said by not being involved OG is
I'll
that
repeat the
you're
question
giving
for the listeners, and maybe the
he's
third panelist can answer this. Do you realize that when you say that you won't report immigrants to ICE, and when you say that you won't participate in the legislative process to stop more immigrants from coming to the U.S., you're granting more immigrants the opportunity
can I
to
can
kill
I
African American
can I
children
respond to
and
that?
to incarcerate African American children. Do you
Go ahead.
Can I
realize that?
respond?
We heard your
Can I
question,
respond to
brother.
that?
Here you go. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Voodoo.
but did you hear the
Okay.
question?
Yeah, I heard the
Yeah,
question.
we
I want
heard
to
your
answer it.
question, man.
I
Okay,
want
so
to
what's
answer.
the
First,
answer, brother?
let me ask you this question, cuz. Do you watch? Can I? It's gonna seem off topic for you, but I'm gonna bring this all the way
You
back
see,
around.
you interrupt me when I'm asking a question, but now that you heard the question, you have no answer.
You
I'm
asked
about
You're
to
the
answer the
silent.
question. I
question.
got you,
I'm about to
Voodoo
answer.
Child. You
I'm about
asked
to
the
answer.
question
Oh
twice.
my
We
God.
heard you the first
Yeah,
time.
and what's the
I heard
answer,
you the
brother?
first time. Mute up and let him answer the question, brother.
I asked you.
Okay.
Did you forget, nigga?
I'm gonna
I
Okay.
asked
We
answer
gonna
it
you.
after
we
him. I'm
we
gonna let my brother
we gonna
Voodoo
Yeah,
Child
let
we
him
answer
go.
gonna
it,
Let him go. Let him
we
go.
gonna start this off.
and
First
then
of
I'm
all, I
gonna
said that
answer it after
we
him.
gonna say that we gonna say that we don't suffer from the delusion that you have that this
I can't
American
hear him.
government
I'm gonna
was.
drop down and come right back.
Go ahead and say what you was gonna say, Voodoo. He'll probably be able to hear you,
Yeah,
but
I
I
think
hear
he a
you.
troll. First of
Yeah,
all,
I know the brother.
first of all, if you think the killing of the so-called black man started with the foreigners, he's delusional. Second of all, doing the work for this government that ain't trying to benefit. I mean, that ain't trying to take care of you, ain't looking out for you, denying you jobs. They steady doing all type of moves in the education system, dumbing down the public. I don't know where this cat come from when he didn't see that the genocide was already going on. Not one incident that's come to light with this guy killing a guy in South Carolina, and now he talking about voting. What do you vote? I mean, so Republicans saving our lives? They cleaning our water up. They're taking the fluoride out. Is he not listening to the show? Where does this type of person come from?
Yeah,
Where does
that
they?
is mulatto man. I got
Where do
you,
you?
brother.
Where do you get this cat
It
from,
is
dog? With this
mulatto
type of language?
man. Go ahead, Voodoo.
I mean, his point of view is so delusional. I mean, first of all, he has How many times he been on this channel? Does he believe in politics? Does he believe Republicans or Democrats are fighting for anybody, any people?
Yeah, he's.
I mean, that's why I said earlier. Stop being baby-minded, people.
Do
Stop
you
being
want to respond to
baby-minded.
any of this? Let's have a dialogue. I can respond to you. I'm here. Watch how
Hey,
brief my
bro,
response.
bro.
Watch how
Let me tell you
brief.
something.
Well, go
Okay,
ahead, bro.
let me finish since you back, bro. For me to talk to you about these things,
Brother, eat
would
off
be.
mic though. You eating on mic.
Hey, bro, stop
We don't
acting
want
like
to
a
hear you
chick, bro.
chew.
Stop picking out shit. Stop acting like a chick, bro. No panty talk right now. I hate when you niggas do all that. I can chew whatever the fuck I want. Shut your ass up and listen.
Yeah, but
You
chew
talking
off the
about
mic though,
talking
brother.
about politics. You talk about politics like it's real, like your voting does something. You don't even understand the electoral college system, I bet. And you sit here
Brother,
talking about you
I
voting
heard
for
you.
a Republican or a Democrat. They've been
But let's
killing
have
us
a
before that
dialogue though,
process.
brother.
They've been killing us before that, have they not? You probably watched NFL. Did they not tell you couldn't take a knee for your
I don't
child?
Let
watch
him
the
get it
NFL,
out,
but let's
brother.
have a
I'm gonna mute
dialogue
you
though.
up, man. Let him get it out. I'm
Man,
gonna
some
let
of
you
these niggas
talk.
so feminine,
He
bro. They
asked me
talk
a
like
question. I'm trying to
they
answer.
talk
I
like
got
women.
it. Give me a
He worried
second.
about me on my lunch break eating some lunch. Goddammit. Listen, do you believe that politics are real?
All right, can I answer that?
Please do.
All right, watch how brief my response is. Cause you asked
Get
a
to it,
number of
man.
you
Do
asked a
you believe
number.
politics are real?
Well, you asked me questions before that. I want to answer the questions you asked me before that. Can I do that? Let's go on
No,
order.
I'm not. Just answer the. Is politics real, bro?
Yeah,
It's like talking to
I'm
my.
gonna answer the questions that you asked me
Once
before
you
this
answer that,
question.
question for me, I'm done. If you believe politics real, there's no conversation between us. You in a
All
whole
right,
different world,
well then
homie.
just mute up, brother. Do I have the floor? Respectfully, watch
No,
how
answer the
brief my.
question, bro.
But watch
Answer
how
the question.
brief
You
my.
believe politics real?
And look, Philly, when I
Hey, bro's
chime
like
in,
talking to
you
a
tell
chick,
me
man.
to
This
mute
dude got
up.
titties, man. This nigga got titties. Answer the question. You believe politics is real? You sound like
For
a
sure.
woman. He want to answer the question.
I
Okay, then
said
what you
for
done
sure.
then? I don't even know
I
what you're
literally
doing on
just
Big
answered.
Philly OG. I don't even know what you're doing on this channel, bro. You got to be a troll. We don't
All
believe
right.
politics real over here. We've
It's not
seen no
about belief,
policies that
brother.
address
All
us.
right, we
It
heard
is.
you.
It is.
Let me respond.
There's no
Let me
faith in that
respond.
shit. There's no
But let me
faith in that
respond.
shit.
But allow me to respond. It'll be brief. Now, me and you both agree that immigrants are in our country killing our children. What is the solution? I gave you mine. What is yours?
First of all, the immigrants are in our government. They're not from here.
Exactly. So what is the solution? I'm asking.
I've
The
been told
solution
you the
is
solution.
Now let
solution
him
is first.
answer. Let him answer. Go ahead.
The solution, first and foremost, as a parent, is stop blaming everything on the motherfucking government and take more charge of your children. Not only that, separate yourself from shit. Not only that, as young so-called black people, a young child should be traveling two at a time at all times. Stop giving these people opportunity because they're out here killing us anyway. While you debating politics and semantics and bullshit that never mattered on no day, you come with a conversation that you was born yesterday. Dog, it ain't
All
got
right.
nothing to do
And
with
let
no
me
foreign.
ask you. Out of everything you,
Everybody who's not us that's killing us is a foreigner.
I agree. Now, out of everything you just said, what is going to stop these foreigners from killing our children? Because nothing you just said is the solution. So I'm gonna ask you it again. What is the solution? Go ahead.
I just told you. Be more involved in your children's life. Stop blaming the government for them being stupid and dumb. They ain't never taught us nothing that was worth a fuck. Stop blaming the government for people exploiting your fucking kids. Stop letting you. We need to be acting like we at war right now, and we're not acting like war. We're walking around like it's all equal. All men are created. It's not created
I
equal.
agree.
They're
Now,
exploiting your ass because you're offering yourself to the dinner table. You need
I
to
agree.
think military minded. You need to move
Now,
military
brother.
minded. We need to be saving our money. We need to be watching our children.
Hey,
Stop
let's have a
feeding them to these
dialogue, brother.
streets.
Let's have a dialogue. You see how
The
brief my
government ain't never
responses are,
looked out for our kids.
brother. You see how brief my responses are because I'm trying to have a dialogue.
Yeah, I'm
Now,
I don't know.
still
is the
here, and
hold on,
I'm
Philly? Hold
letting
on,
y'all
Philly.
talk.
Goddamn. Please
Go
let me
ahead.
have a dialogue with the brother. Now, you said don't blame the government. Is the government not the ones that's allowing the immigrants into the country?
The same people that you're
The
talking
government
about
is built to
voting for.
immigrants.
Hold on. Let him, Philly. Let him answer. I'm trying to trigger a light bulb.
The
Is the government
government
not the
You
ones?
ain't tricking no
Go
light
ahead.
bulb over there, man.
at
Yeah.
Go
all,
Is
ahead,
the
dog,
finish
at
your
government not
all.
the
statement.
ones? I'm asking a question. Is the government not the ones that let the immigrants into the country?
The system provided more immigrants to the country, sir. Yes, they did. But they're not
Okay, so
letting them.
they
They've
are
been
the
coming across
blame
the
then. So
border.
they hold on. So you agree that they
They're
are the
not to
blame?
blame. They're not to
They
blame.
didn't. You
You to
said
blame for
you
not
just
being
said that
more
they let them
active.
in. You just said that they
You
let
to
them in.
blame to not being more active about the
I agree with
understanding of
that
what
part.
this really
I agree with
is.
that part. Now you see that you blame your own people when you won't blame the government.
No,
Checkmate.
of course the government's in it, dog. But
Checkmate.
guess what? The government don't have no
Whoa.
power.
Slow
The
down.
government has
Slow
no
down.
power. The
Slow
government
down.
has no power without the people, homie.
Slow down. You'll blame your own
Mulatto,
people,
man.
but you won't blame the government.
No, I'm blaming
Checkmate.
the
We
people,
blame the
period.
government every day
Checkmate.
over here, bro.
He said don't blame them. He said don't blame the government.
No, what I'm saying is don't blame the
Checkmate.
government for you not staying safe because they
Correct
never
yourself.
protected you.
So correct yourself.
They never kept you safe, dog.
So
They never
correct
kept you
yourself.
safe.
So what? So now that we agree that they are blame.
Oh my
You
God.
know, real quick.
It's like talking to a chick, dog.
Let him run from
Low
it.
common
Let him run
sense.
from that question.
Low common sense, homie.
You see how we slow the conversation down? He panics. When we slow the
I'm not
conversation
panicking
down,
at
he
all, homie.
panics
I'm
because he
appalled
don't have
that you
the
even
answer.
over here. I'm appalled that you even over here. Your conversation is null and void.
When we slow the conversation down, we see you don't have no answers. So
I
I'm
just gave
asking,
you
brother,
answers, but you
what
can't hear
is
it because you don't have
We
common
gave
sense,
you
homie.
answers,
brother?
Stop
I'm
that.
going at
He
one
didn't hear
step
the
at a
answer
time.
because you don't got common sense. Ain't no one
Brother,
step at a time. Stop talking like a
I'm
chick, bro.
going
Get
one step
lost.
at a time
Get
with you,
fucking
brother.
lost, bro.
I got
Brother,
you,
Get
I'm
lost,
going.
bro.
Voodoo. I got you.
He
Let
need
me holler
romance,
at
but this
you.
boy lonely.
Philly can't
This boy
save you.
must have
Hold on,
heard.
Let me
OG
He
holler
must
at
have
Philly
you,
heard
can't
no
brother.
save you.
shows over here, Philly.
I
He
got
heard
you.
no
Philly
shows
can't
over here.
save you.
This a chick
Philly
dude, dog.
can't
I got
save
you,
you.
Voodoo
Ain't
child.
nobody, I don't need nobody saving me. You talking like
Philly
a chick,
cannot
bro.
save you,
This
brother.
dude probably a meat sucker, bro. He smoked
So
that
I'm
sausage.
asking.
Listen to this verbiage. Said it can't
We
save
don't
me.
want to hear your
We
gay
all men over
fantasy,
here.
brother. We don't
I
want to
don't
hear
have
your
no
gay
fantasy, dog. I'm
Yeah,
fantasy.
we
tired of you
all
niggas.
men over
We
here,
don't want
man.
to hear your
All you
gay
niggas is
fantasy.
lightweight, boy. So
All
many
right,
of you niggas, you
but back
tight
to the
pants
focal
ass, Peter
point.
Pan dressing ass niggas is
So I'm
amazing to me, man.
asking.
This boy could have
Foreigners are
never heard a
killing
show
our
over here.
kids.
He
What's
come
the
over here with this
solution?
conversation.
Foreigners are killing our kids. What's the solution?
The
Okay.
solution is we need to
All
come
right, let
together.
Philly go. Go ahead, Philly.
We need to come together as a people,
I
like I've
agree.
been saying for years. Get out of this corporation and create your own corporation.
Why you
Create
haven't
your
done it yet,
own
then?
government.
Why you
Create
haven't
your
done it
own
yet?
corporation.
Why you
You
haven't done
Hey,
it
interrupt.
bro,
yet? You
this is
was
a
in the
deep
military.
voice chick you talking to, bro.
I
This is a
got
deep
you
voice chick
interrupted.
you
You
talking
asked
to.
me a question. I got you, Voodoo. You asked me a question. I answered the question. Then you're gonna
You was
talk
in the
while I'm answering.
military.
You got me, Mulatto?
My bad,
Like I
bro.
said, I answered your question. And
It's
I
just
wanted to
crazy,
ask you a
baby-minded
question.
ass
Hold
nigga.
on, Voodoo Child. Do you even know
My
what
bad,
we're
bro.
talking about up here? Mulatto,
Mute
put
up.
in the chat what we're talking about up here. Oh, come on back up. What is the topic that I'm talking about? You came in not even caring about what the fuck I'm talking about and want to bring your little bullshit up. You know, the migrants and the immigrants calling ICE. I don't call police or the ICE. Non-participation is what I've been saying for years to the people. Stop participating in their shit.
Hey, bro, on
Show
one
them not
level,
corrupt the
OG, on one
corporation.
level, he
He
trying to
sound
out the
like I
government.
got you, Voodoo Child. He sound like a COVID-19 patient, still pushing their propaganda. You get me? But yeah, real quick, shout out to my sister, Phenomenal Mommy. Much love and respect to Phenomenal Mommy. Good seeing you, sister. Always.
Yeah, I apologize, man. Some of this shit be touching my emotion. I'm not an emotional dude, but to me, you gotta be playing games if you on this channel and you coming here talking about the government. No, we gotta stop blaming them. Not that they have a lack of responsibility, but keep blaming them. They ain't never fixed it. They ain't never tried to fix it. So why the fuck you even bringing them in the game? The game is we need to look within and fix this shit on our own. And that means more participation. Parents need to stop sending their kids to the
I
store
got you,
thinking
Voodoo.
you safe.
We
You
know
need to go walk with them.
basically
Send somebody with them.
they allow we know that the government allowed these migrants and immigrants to come over here, flood our land, and basically, basically not knowing, letting you know who you are. You are the Aboriginal American. So they allowed these migrants. They've been coming over here since the 1600s. They've been allowing them. And he
Yeah, they
wanted to do
foreigners,
something
OG.
now. We in 2025 and 26. Because the government says it's a problem. That's the only reason he's fighting for it, because the government says we got to do something about these migrants and immigrants. Nigga, where was you at like 20 years ago when we was talking about this shit? Like I said, man, he came up here hot. We're talking about propaganda. I'm playing a video of showing how they implement propaganda in everything we do. The TV, the music, the radio. You know what I mean? And you should call
OG.
ICE. I don't call ICE or the police, like I said. Most times when flag on the play, niggas or black people call the police, they end up getting locked up or unalive. That's the reality that we live in 2026. Like I said, me and my wife got one policy. One thing we don't do. We don't call po-po. If we're arguing, fighting, we talk that shit out. We're not getting the police system, cops involved in this home. But what's good, brother Nasir? How you doing, brother?
Salute, brothers. How y'all doing?
What's up with it, man?
All good,
peace, brother. But you know, brother, you're not gonna get everybody to understand, brother, because you know when you understand, you have to act. So they act oblivious to what you're saying, brother.
He can't be that dumb, bro.
But you know, I mean, you know, you're being very generous, brother, because the fact is, some people are.
See, I know that young man. He been
And it's
on
not
a lot
that
of
he's that
channels.
dumb.
His old name was Mulatto Man. So a lot of people know who Mulatto Man is in the chat. He changed his name.
You know how people say, you know how they say ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is bliss because when you know, you have to do something. When they say knowing is half the battle, people want to know and don't want to do the other part. That's the problem. They want to do half. They don't want to do the rest of the part that comes with knowing.
Hey, brother, I say I don't want to interrupt you, but I apologize to the chat and everybody on the thing. I don't like stupidity, bro. I see this as an opportunity for us to communicate and progress, to come up with common sense, goddamn objections, common sense objectives, and reasoning to fix this shit. And to me, I know you military minded too, brother Nasir. Right now, we shouldn't be sending young kids to the store by themselves. This should be like back when we was kids. Now you and your brother go. It always should be two people together. You dig? We're not thinking at all. We keep offering ourselves to the jaws and the teeth of this society and this machine. And then playing dummy and victim. Look what they doing nuts. You see what they did to young brother. Nigga, y'all not moving like they doing this to y'all. You keep going out there with your booty hanging out. Then you get the stupid ass motherfucker here sound like some little broad arguing like a broad. Look how he's sounding. Look, you see how short my answer. Hey, bro, get your point out, cuz. And then you get out a point that's so stupid and so far past where we are mentally. What, you let the government letting these foreigners in? No, motherfucker. The people who voting, who passing the consensus that they're operating on left or right, they're going left or right with it, but they're getting the job done regardless. You're allowing this by believing in a system that's ever serving you, that's never served you. And then you get up here talking about, you see what the government doing to these foreigners. Dog, everybody who's not an Aborigine is a foreigner. And they've been killing us. So what you calling them foreigners when they was killing us like this left and right? Would you call the police that's choking people out, kneeling on their neck a foreigner? No, you come here with an arguing point that's just trying to stir the pot up like a little messy little broad that really ain't about nothing. I mean, man, I don't know.
Would somebody give you
I had it under control.
the answer, when somebody give you the answer to your, you know, the answer to your problem, and it's the wrong answer to what you're supposed to be doing, standing and acting on behalf of your people. So it has to be, it's silly to think that calling ICE on people is just going to solve it's a solution to our problems, bro. That's just stupid, bro. That's stupid.
Yeah, that's why I said, you take a deep breath. I knew I had it under control. I was going to make that man look stupid up here, like I always do, man.
This shit crazy, man, with that argument point he came with. Y'all not calling ICE. Dog, we've been calling them for us and they ain't showed up. Now we're going to call ICE for them on somebody else? Come on, man.
OG said it, and he said it correctly. It goes bad when we call those people because they're not here to serve and protect us. So why would we call them on the scene to make what you're doing? You're creating and you're making yourself a ward of the state once you get them involved. Leave them people out of your business. Leave them out of your business.
Not only that, brother Nasir, you calling them to get the job done that you should be doing. You did.
Exactly.
And they gonna come there and sweep everybody up. You heard me? I mean, it's crazy, cuz. What are you doing, man?
You gonna call another man to be the man at your house?
No, sir.
You don't never do that. You don't call another man to be the man in your house because nobody comes to my house to be the man. I'm the
No,
man
bro,
in my house.
I done lived in a hood most of my life, bro. And I done been in some pretty rough hoods where it was going down. But you know what they knew all the time? They tell you, hey, bro, Raphael, bro, don't go over there with that. He ain't gonna have. I was in these apartments one time, bro. My kids was real small. And it was all kind of shit. Everything you want was going on back there, you dig? But see, in my breezeway, every Sunday I got out there with bleach and motherfucking soap. I clean the concrete. I clean the outside window. They asked me, why you doing that, bro? This ain't yours. I said, bro, I'm paying rent, yeah. My kids getting raised. I got to present them with an example. This is mine, you dig? And y'all can't come around here and hang out all day. Y'all can't be in my stairwell, bro. I don't give a fuck how you feel about it. I guarantee you, all the mothers around there was thanking me because they ain't had that shit around my area. And I just think if 15 more brothers was doing the same thing, they stand out there holding their dick, talking about fucking Jordans and clothes and who rapping what and who fucking who. I policed my own area. None of that shit went on around my building, you did? And the buildings adjacent to me, because I was out there. When I came from work, I didn't just go in the house. If I seen little kids fighting out there over some bitch shit, I shut that shit down. Hey, bro, first of all, men don't act like this. None of them other niggas was out there doing it, out there holding their dick, drinking, smoking, and talking about shoes, clothes, and other kind of bullshit that's miscellaneous. We got to police our own neighborhood. We got to stop asking other people to do what the fuck our job's supposed to be.
Or they're out there pointing the camera, recording the fight with the chicks.
Why some man get choked out for hey, but everybody, I hope anybody who on here right now, fuck you. If you was out there when George Floyd got killed and you heard a man call for his mama, fuck all y'all. Because I would have died too. Ain't no way I could have stood around and watched that shit. Anybody who was out there with their camera up is a piece of shit. I hope you fall and break all your front teeth out your fucking mouth.
I couldn't
even watch the video.
He would have got off George Floyd where I'm from. He'd have got off.
Oh yeah. They would have to beat me too out there, bro. And I guarantee you, I don't even have to know you. If I see a brother or sister getting her,
anybody trying to keep us at bay with a party too. Period.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what was supposed to happen. Like I said, real quick. You know, basically, I was trying to show this video about propaganda, and that man, you know, he interrupted the video with his bullshit. You know, now
he did his job. He did what they sent him here for.
Because I wanted to show it, but I'm gonna continue showing it because that's what I'm saying. A lot of our people still pushing that propaganda. He's a perfect example.
OJ, by definition, in his action, that's an agent provocateur. That's what he did.
Let me do what I do. You see what I'm saying? I'm showing how, you know, our people believe the propaganda and this man coming up here pushing about the migrants. And when we answer his question, he leaves, you know what I mean? But go ahead, y'all got it, man. Shout out to y'all, man. I kind of wanted to finish this video, but now I ain't gonna have enough time because I'm coming back later.
You know, I don't understand how people don't know how to, you know, when you come to somebody's platform, somebody's house, that the conversation is with that person, the channel holder, the host. The conversation is with you, OG. If I came to your house and sat at your table, I'm not going to be conversing with everybody at the table. The conversation is supposed to be with you because you are the host. Whatever your title is or what you're talking about, if you're not going to talk about that, don't come up.
Exactly.
Don't come up.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, y'all got it, man. I just wanted to tap in. Like I said, you know, I was showing a video about the propaganda, man. And it was hitting home. You know what I mean? But I'm going to redo this video. Shout out to old dude, man. It just showed how propaganda is a part of our belief system of a lot of people, man. They still believing what they were taught.
You know, brother, that's the first act of war, propaganda.
And this corporation,
that's the first act of war.
This corporation basically, you know, allowed it, pushed it, and gave the person a profit for doing it to the people. But yeah, shout out to everybody in the house, man.
Brother, all you got to do is when you watch certain programs, okay, when you watch certain programs, whatever commercial you see is sponsoring that program. That's it. They're sponsoring whatever propaganda that we're looking at. If we're watching CNN, Fox, whatever program that we're watching, all you got to do is watch the commercials. They're sponsoring it. Brought to you by. That's all we got to do. Well, my brother, you know where I'm at, brother. I had to come up. Salute you, brother. And I'll be
No
over
problem,
there
brother.
this evening.
Thank you for coming up, man. You're welcome.
I'll be
up
over there
here.
this evening. I'll be over there this evening, though.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Indeed. Peace, brother.
Enjoy your day, brother. You know, like I said, I'm gonna play a little bit more of this video because I wanted the people to see it.
Rexford Tugwell. He went overseas, as did many of the people who became a part of the Roosevelt administration. And they went to Stalin's Soviet Union. And they also went to Benito Mussolini's fascist state. And they have this love affair with this idea of centralized government power.
The dawn of a government centralized authority over health and education had begun.
It is true that the toes of some people are being stepped on and are going to be stepped on.
By the time we leave the Roosevelt administration and we enter into the 1940s, we have over 200 federal agencies invested with separate powers that were meant only to be in the hands of Congress.
Today, the Department of Health and Human Services includes 13 operating divisions. Within the National Institutes of Health, there are 27 separate institutes and centers. It has become a government inside a government, with unelected bureaucrats creating policies and mandates forced upon the populace.
And they're ruling like oligarchs. You have agencies of the government that have complete control over areas of regulation that were never intended to be that way by the founders' construct, by the Constitution. So it would regulate every aspect of your life, potentially.
A huge country like America was the perfect place to put in an industrialized food system. And that food system has moved in parallel to the drug industry. After the Second World War, we saw this incredible boom of organic chemistry, this ability to alter molecules at will so you could stamp a patent on them. So the big food producers, just like Big Pharma in the drug area, started to modify foods so that it could basically sell them to us in a way that would create addiction.
Call this transhumanism now that's happening with the humans. This happened in the food industry years ago. It's a trans food industry where they started bringing chemical synthetics into the food industry to be able to alter your behavior through food, be able to get you addicted through food, to be able to deposit chemicals and make you addicted to these chemicals in food.
The people who live long, healthy lives are the people who are close to nature, have intact social systems, understand family values, understand how to sit around a table and consume your food when you're in rest and digest mode rather than fear mode. We need to be in that parasympathetic side of an autonomic nervous system. It's well known in science, yet your average physician doesn't turn around and say, tell me not only what are you eating, but how are you eating?
If we do not reform HHS, FDA, CDC, and NIH, then frankly, we are in dire straits as a nation. We cannot survive the fraud and corruption of the federal agencies that have been weaponized against us while they protect the profits and the financial interests of big pharma, big food, big ag, the poisoners of society.
Bobby Kennedy is a true hero. He was featured in The Truth About Vaccines, and we are honored to have him present his keynote tonight on Gardasil. So please give it up for Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
I was 7 years old. I went to the inauguration of my uncle as president in Washington, D.C.
Ask not what your country can do
And
for you.
3 days before that, President Eisenhower, the outgoing president, made what today we have to regard as the most important speech in American history. And it was the speech where he told Americans that they should be in fear
by the military-industrial complex. The potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists and will persist. We must never let the weight of this combination endanger our liberties or democratic processes.
And I urge you to go look at that speech, because after he talks about the military-industrial complex,
we must also be alert to the equal and opposite danger that public policy could itself become the captive of a scientific, technological elite.
The poisoning and the genetic modification and the plan of creating a synthetic world. And the industrial complex is so ingrained in owning and patenting everything from the seeds to the agriculture to the energy production to the politics to the pharmaceutical industry. And now what we're seeing, if you look at all the biotech and big pharma work, including agricultural, for the last 10 years, is everything is going into nanotechnology. Transhumanism agenda, World Economic Forum talks about this. We've been studying this since 2016. Came out on Alex Jones in 2018 and revealed all this information, predicting the pandemic, predicting the bioweapon shots, the integration of Human 2.0. This is where they're going with everything.
It's going to be very easy to introduce and control a biological weapon and then be able to force vaccinate the whole population.
The interesting part in my life was when I was about to take my MCAT because I wanted to be a heart surgeon. And I sat next to this guy, and this is in the mid-90s, by the way, and this guy was talking to me about natural health. He was talking to me about, back then, what would be considered conspiracies. And he was arguing with me because I was like, oh, we have the best scientists in the world. We have, all this money going to the American Cancer Society and all this. We're going to...
Hey, real quick, are y'all enjoying this video? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all are enjoying this video. Real quick. Shout out to everybody in the house, man. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all are enjoying this video about propaganda. Let me see who here participating. If y'all enjoying the video, please put a 1 in the chat. Okay, yeah, I see. My bad. I scrolled up. I see the 1. Damn, okay. Much respect to y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. Let me shout y'all out, man. Sharon Walker, Michael Harris, my brother P. Moses, Soul Brother, Crip Walk, Old Dude, Haru, YS Millennium, Casino, Poison Puppet, Phenomenal Mommy, Michael Harris, Old Dude, D. Allen Warren, Brother Nasir. Shout out to all of y'all, everybody in the house. Thank y'all. I had strolled up and didn't even stroll up, see the ones. I'm like, okay, maybe I'm lagging, but I was lagging and y'all was on point. Thank y'all for the ones, man. I'm gonna finish the video. I'm gonna let like 10 minutes, 15 minutes play. I got to do something real quick, and then I'm gonna tap back in. Thank y'all for the ones. Let me know y'all here with me. Thank y'all, man. I'm over here strolling up to look and seeing what some of the chat saying, and thought I was looking for the ones, but I forgot I strolled up. So thank y'all for the ones, man. Let me know y'all here with me, man. Smoking that good Chiba got me. I was tripping for a minute, but yeah, we're gonna play the video. I got y'all. Give me about 10 minutes. I'll be right back. And the links in the chat if anybody want to come up.
Eliminated in the next 5 years, and he was basically laughing at me saying, this is all planned. This is all a big show, like the Truman Show. And so we got argued back and forth. And then he said something to me. He said, have you ever broken down a pharmaceutical and actually looked and see what it does to the body? The analogy that he used when he was talking to me, if the oil light comes on in your car, would you go get the oil changed or would you put a Band-Aid over the oil light? And I was like, I would go get the oil changed. And he goes, well, what pharmaceuticals are doing is they're just putting a Band-Aid over the problem. The problem is still there, and it's always going to be there until you address what causes that problem. And the dinner was over and I went home, and for 2 days I couldn't sleep. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, what's going on? So I drove to the medical library and I spent 6 hours. That's all the time I needed to determine that the majority of stuff I had been taught was a lie. I had to come to the realization, like, I learned that so many things were lies and deceptions. I had to just say, I mean, it was like, what if everything I've been taught has been a lie? What if I'm living in this movie? What if I'm living in this matrix and everything is controlled? The narrative is controlled. And maybe the opposite of everything that I've been taught is actually the truth. The political system was engineered. The healthcare system was engineered. The agricultural system was engineered. Basically, this whole system that we've been living in was engineered.
Whatever of social importance is done today, whether in politics.
You know, I wanted to say to Mulatto Man, if you still out there listening, Mulatto Man, do you know your father, the founding fathers of America, is migrants and immigrants? Did you know that, Mulatto Man? That the founding fathers is migrants and immigrants that you fight so hard for. Let's go, man. I'm going to play the video. I just wanted to say that in case Mulatto Man was still listening. Let's go.
Politics, finance, manufacture, agriculture, education must be done with the help of propaganda.
The role of the media in a democracy is to maintain a fierce posture of skepticism toward government authorities and toward official pronouncements. That was what the media did in this country for the first 285 years of our existence. But in the last decade, and particularly culminating in COVID, you saw the media completely take the opposite posture.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Dangerous.
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 Dangerous. Dangerous.
Dangerous. Extremely dangerous.
This is
extremely dangerous to our democracy.
The biggest weapon that's been used against humanity has been disinformation. It's been information warfare.
Let me ask you something, because didn't they take you guys off of Facebook? What do they do with you?
Yes, Facebook has
They
been
just
a
follow
nightmare.
you, or do they take you off completely?
Well, they're threatening right now to take us off completely. So we've got the Truth About Cancer, which is our bigger page. We've got over 1 million people on this page. And it's not as censored as the Truth About Vaccines. We've got a Truth About Vaccines page, Bobby. It's a Truth About Vaccines docuseries. So when you go in the search bar and you put those words in, the first thing you'll see is the WHO or Bill Gates Foundation or Baylor Medical Center and so on. 25 pages, and then finally you'll see our page.
The idea that drug companies can advertise directly to consumers while paying off the corporate media, oh, this is a horrible cabal. This is a racket.
They've captured Congress, they've captured the press, because they're the biggest advertisers, pharma and food. And they're brainwashing us. And then, of course, they start when kids are little with this advertising, Tony the Tiger, et cetera, the same way the tobacco industry did.
Still great, huh?
They're great. Particularly the evening news shows are just bracketed one after the other by pharmaceutical ads.
Brought to you by Pfizer, making a difference.
Brought to you by Pfizer. CNN Tonight. Brought to you by Pfizer. Anderson Cooper 360. Brought to you by Pfizer.
And so, you know, you look at somebody like Anderson Cooper. I think Anderson Cooper makes about $20 million, you know, give or take. If you say he's got a $20 million salary and 75% of that or 80% of that is coming from the pharmaceutical companies, that's who his real boss is.
There's more breaking news tonight. An advisory committee of the U.S. Food and Drug Administration has voted to recommend Pfizer's COVID vaccine for children ages 5 to 11 under emergency use.
Brought to you by Pfizer.
The pharmaceutical and health product industries alone spent about $4.7 billion on lobbying from 1999 to 2018, averaging $233 million per year. This included $414 million on contributions to presidential and congressional electoral candidates.
You know, you should not be able to buy the vote of your congressman. And the most concerning part about this is that a very large amount of the money that is given to congressmen, whether through direct donations or PACs or what have you, is actually foreign money.
The watchdog website Open Secrets is currently tracking 182 countries. Here you can see what countries are spending the most on lobbying, influence, tourism, and trade promotion in the United States. Since 2016, China is leading the way with over $5.5 billion.
Anthony Fauci shifted a lot of his operations offshore. And those operations ended up, most of them in the Wuhan lab, which is a military lab, and that the Chinese run, the People's Liberation Army. And then a lot of them went to the Ukraine. So a lot of that science now, and it's funded, not, you know, Fauci was funding lots of it. But then the other government agencies began to get confidence in, you know, their ability to get away with it. And most of it is being funded by the Department of Defense. Most of all, the biggest single funder is USAID, which is, you know, a CIA cutout.
There are two driving forces for control. And both of them have a role to play, but one of them has become increasingly important over everything else. The two factors that drive control are personal financial wealth. And the second one is directing society to an outcome that you prefer. And this is totalitarianism. This is the opposite of individualism. This is the opposite of free enterprise. This is when a person, and this is due to arrogance, this is an assumption that I know better than you do what's in your best interest. This is what drives bureaucracy. The basic bureaucrat is basically living off of this concept that those in Washington who've been deemed appropriate to regulate know better than you do what's in your own best interest.
I'm standing outside of the United States Capitol, which oversees the FDA. Unfortunately, many of the members of this august body that we elect are taking their campaign contributions of big pharma, big ag, and the big food processing companies that FDA is supposed to regulate.
So what we have is an unconstitutional system. We have a broken republic because the powers that were meant to be kept in the branches of the government, but the Constitution defines, have been taken out and put in individual hands. In the area of food and drug, the consequences have been immense.
New developments in a controversy we've been following since Friday night. A local doctor's privileges pulled after a series of tweets about COVID-19 vaccines and treatments. Houston Methodist is calling Dr. Mary Bowden's opinions dangerous and full of misinformation.
Lies, you're telling me that you'll be true.
Houston Methodist says that Dr. Mary Bowden recently joined the staff there and as of today has never admitted a patient there. Tonight she's been suspended for, quote, spreading dangerous misinformation which is not based in science.
Dr. Mary Bowden had been suspended for her comments on vaccines.
Now they had suspended her hospital privileges because they say she is spreading dangerous information about COVID treatments.
This after she was temporarily suspended for advising against vaccines for children.
Last fall, Houston Methodist suspended Dr. Mary Bowden
claiming that she spread misinformation on social media.
Dr. Mary Bowden is facing 3 anonymous complaints for her stance on the use of ivermectin to treat COVID-19.
Spreading what they call, quote, dangerous and false information.
Bowden's Twitter account shows a series of tweets praising the anti-parasitic drug ivermectin. However, the CDC and FDA both caution people from using the drug to treat COVID, citing a sharp increase in reports of severe illness caused by the drug to poison centers.
I'm Mary Tally Bowden, and I'm in Houston, Texas. I'm an ear, nose, and throat and sleep medicine specialist. I sort of was thrust into the media. I had been treating COVID patients. Unlike a lot of other doctors in my area, I actually welcomed people who were sick. I heard a lot of patients telling me, well, my doctor won't see me, and just told me to go to the emergency room. So I did what I could. Prior to the pandemic, I really didn't give the FDA much thought at all as a doctor. I knew they were there to approve medications. I knew as long as they were on the market, I could use them. I didn't have to, look up the approved indications and abide by those. So when they started making these proclamations against ivermectin, they were violating their boundaries, and they basically interfere between doctors and patients. And I sued them for that, and we actually won our lawsuit. Because they put that misinformation on their website, and then they also put out the horse tweet. It says, seriously, y'all, you're not a horse, you're not a cow, stop it. Their lawyers said, oh, it was merely a quip, but that quip had dire consequences because it resulted in medical board complaints. So shortly after that, I got reported to the medical board. A slew of other doctors got reported to the medical board. It resulted in pharmacies refusing to fill prescriptions that doctors were writing for ivermectin. It resulted in hospitals refusing to give inpatients ivermectin. And it even affected the court system. So people who were suing to get ivermectin, who were in the hospital and trying to get ivermectin, the judges were citing the FDA's stance on ivermectin as a reason to deny people ivermectin. Their motivations were not to help the public. Their motivations were wrapped around the COVID shot.
Today, Dr. Bowden said she believes Houston Methodist is trying to make an example out of her.
If they are so confident in their position, let's see it all. Let's see complications, complaints. Let's see breakthrough cases. Let's see all their data.
In response, hospital CEO Mark Boone told us in part, quote, as a physician, I'm personally offended by her behavior and by her misleading comments about COVID-19 and our hospital system.
I was reluctant to start using ivermectin at first. I was worried, but I just did my research. I went to the FDA's website. I found where the medication, the studies they submitted.
Hey, shout out everybody in the house, man. I appreciate all of y'all.
I looked at all the toxicity data. I did a literature search trying to find examples of overdose from ivermectin and couldn't find anything. So, it was very easy to verify, okay, is ivermectin as dangerous as they're saying it is? But for some reason, doctors just didn't take that step. But I think so much of it is just, they're just not independent, and there's
doctors are not independent, they're controlled.
It's just so much safer to go along.
News network you work for out and out lied. Just outright lied.
Out and out lied.
Horse dewormer.
They shouldn't have said that.
Why did they do that?
I don't know.
You didn't ask?
Take a look at the two side by side where you can clearly see the deceptive and despicable, really quite hilarious filter that CNN did on the video.
It blows my mind that Joe Rogan just yesterday admitted to taking ivermectin.
Yes, that's the deworming medicine made to kill parasites in farm animals.
Ivermectin apparently given to deworm animals.
So things are clearly bad, but they're being made even worse by people who have refused to take the vaccine and instead are swallowing horse pills.
Dewormer.
Doctors say. Doctors
fair use.
Yeah, but not.
We're showing how propaganda has been weaponized against the people.
If you protect someone from a disease and they die more frequently, this is highly illogical. We can't recommend that drug. And it seems laughable, right?
Fair use.
But we actually did this for many, many years in chemotherapy. So In chemotherapy, we found all these drugs, and the FDA was approving them, and they were approving them even though the patients who got the experimental drug, not the placebo, the experimental drug, they died more often and earlier. Their tumors were shrinking, so they're like, oh, let's approve it and see what happens. And it didn't work out, and it went on for years and years. And there were many drugs they tried, and they killed a lot of people sooner than they would have if they had just actually left them alone.
Because
like
people
I
used a
always
lot of
say,
homeopathy
crimes
during
against
COVID.
humanity.
What the FDA did in December 22
I'm proving
is
it.
they passed new
The link's
guidance
in the chat.
that said our interpretation of the law that dates all the way back to the Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act of 1938 says that these products needed to be licensed, fully licensed. And because none of you guys who've been following the homeopathic pharmacopoeia have got licenses, drug licenses for your products, it's all illegal.
The Food and Drug Administration is not answerable to you. It's not answerable to Congress, really. It's not answerable to the courts. And my whole career in litigation has been suing the FDA when they violated your individual rights. Your individual rights to have an information indispensable to your decision about your own health.
About your own health.
We are literally in the middle of the Brazilian rainforest here. And I chose this place.
Facts,
It's very
people.
isolated. So the shit hits the fan. I mean, like, it's kind of already hitting the fan.
They allow big pharma to experiment on people. And they've been doing it for years. Facts. But yeah, I'm playing some more of the video. And then, like I said, I'm probably going to stay live about a half an hour more if anybody want to come up. Because I am coming back at 8 o'clock. And I hope to see y'all all here. I'll be here at 8 p.m. doing a collab with the sister. So I'll be back at 8 o'clock. Shout out Soul Brother, man. Haru, years, yes. Crime against indigenous. Yep, yes, ma'am. Let's go.
Fan. I would do plays where
Showing how they use
self-sufficient.
push
For example, here
propaganda to
we
weaponize
have
against the people.
20 kilowatt hours of batteries. This is powered by solar. You can see it on the roof. There's like a 11 kilowatt. Technology. Exactly, with technology, Starlink on the roof. So I'm very well connected here. I have electricity, fridges, which wasn't normal in the past. But everything else is literally how it used to be. So I'm living here among jaguars, among animals you only find in the zoo in the US, and here it's reality. Here it's quite normal. Let's go to the chickens. Yeah, I can let them outside even. You can even take a thing how I open this thing. Oh my gosh, it's cool. I didn't let them out because, and they're super friendly. Come, okay, quite friendly. The rooster is very aggressive, but the others are very friendly. Yeah, they lay many eggs, so every day I have approximately 10 eggs. Sometimes they even go on your nerves and they come after you, but oh yeah, this I call I think chicken breast. There's chicken McNuggets, and this one is a soup. Yeah, whatever. No, chicken's very delicious, and I mean, like, they have a great life. They have here I think 5,000 square feet of area, and you see the whole fence. It's passion fruit, so I'm trying to combine things. They poop here. It's used as a nutrient. It's used as a nutrient for the passion fruit. I eat the passion fruit. The chicken eats the passion fruit as well, and it's a circle life. So let's go to the greenhouse. Let's go to this system first here. So what you can see literally here. So there is a strawberry system at the top. So when we got here, we had issues. Nothing was growing. All my tomatoes were dying until we figured out why. Like water logging in the soil, insufficient nutrients, no drainage, and then you just cope with the problems and you figure out a solution for yourself. And now everything is actually growing. Now we don't have any issues. And I mean, like, if you have a system like this, you don't hardly need any maintenance.
Dr. Simon Goodek found himself an enemy of the status quo. After publicly writing his concerns with the PCR testing during COVID, he was ostracized and fired from his position as one of the leading scientists in his field.
So I think, there were not many scientists who spoke out. So most of them remained silent. I have colleagues who totally agree with me. They just write me personal emails saying, like, Simon, I found you there. Oh my gosh, so brave. We weren't brave. We'd want to keep our jobs, stuff like this. So these people exist. There are many scientists who are critical, but they know once they raise their voices, they're going to be canceled. I didn't know. I was super naive. I thought I'm just doing my job. For me, it was just doing my job as a scientist. Be critical towards everything. That's what a scientist does, in my opinion. So I was talking about vitamin D, and they were like hostile against me. I was like, okay, this is weird. But I thought, like, when I was speaking out against the PCR test and explaining why this is impossible, they would like embrace me. But the opposite happened. So.
What were you speaking out of that got you? What would they say? What were the big ones?
So you mean why I got canceled in Norway? I just Twitter. I am an editor of that Springer Nature Journal, and I will give you some more insights into scientific peer review processes and why fraudulent manipulation with respect to C. Drosten's PCR paper most likely took place at the Journal of Publication at Eurosurveillance. If mosquitoes on you, oh my gosh, you're going to suffer tomorrow. Dead. So what we actually showed is that 90% of the PCR tests were false positive. And do you remember the measures for someone who had a positive PCR test? Stay at home, isolate, don't do anything. They were scrapped from the civil rights just because of a test that wasn't able to show if someone's sick or not. No, I was literally like, I was talking to my mom and I was like, don't get the vaccine. She's like, but my MD I trust, he told me to. And I was like, I was sending them studies and all this stuff. I'm a scientist. I understand what I'm talking about. At least I believe I understand, so I'm telling them my truth. And I turned out to be right. I think they're doing this. It's all about control. So who's easier to control? The healthy person or the sick person? So if you are on prescriptions the whole time, you're taking these and these and these meds, and they're telling you, okay, if you stop, you can't, you're going to die, etc. So they're kind of blackmailing you. It's gaslighting. It's actually medical gaslighting. And I think this is the way they control you.
The other piece of the puzzle we haven't talked much about is Congress. Congress has a role in oversight and running these government agencies. And clearly they're not doing anything to stop this. And that's the reason why is obvious. They're rolling in the money too. Many congressmen have very, very large sums of shares in numerous pharmaceutical companies. In fact, one blockbuster drug can significantly change someone's portfolio. Congress is not providing oversight, and the FDA is passing and approving drugs, which about 1/3 of the time turn out to need a black box warning for severe life-threatening adverse effects.
So the FDA needs to be completely restructured. Now, the NIH, the National Institute of Health, where Fauci was, that is the biggest government-funded pharmaceutical research entity on the planet.
So many people would think that the NIH is it's a government agency. It must be taxpayer funded, but the reality is approximately 50% of the budget is funded from the pharmaceutical industry, as well as 4 at least high-level employees at the NIH actually get royalties from the Moderna vaccine.
The NIH research teams need to be doing research on the root cause of disease. That's where you get the NIH involved doing research on all these synthetic chemicals in foods and completely organizing their research around health and humanity instead of, working in conjunction with Big Pharma on Big Pharma is basically getting government funded research for free through the NIH.
The NIH funded research that contributed to the development of 354 of the 356 drugs approved by the FDA between 2010 and 2019, with the NIH investing $187 billion into the development of these drugs.
As a matter of fact, very specifically, in 1999, Anthony Fauci funded research at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, specifically to create, and you cannot help but lament what I'm about to read, because this comes directly from a patent application filed on April 19th, 2002, and you heard the date correctly, 2002, where the NIAID built an infectious, replication defective coronavirus that was specifically targeted for human lung epithelium. In other words, we made SARS.
In the year 2000, Bill Gates and Tony Fauci shook hands on a partnership, and they made a deal that they were going to promote vaccines worldwide and have universal compliance. And they named their project the Decade of Vaccines. They said by 2020, they're going to have complete global compliance with their vaccine program. And that's when Gates began investing in all of these quasi-governmental agencies, creating them and also making large investments in vaccine companies and in mRNA vaccines. Both men were repeatedly making these extraordinarily accurate predictions.
Well, we always have to worry that a new epidemic is going to come along. A flu epidemic that could go global. I think an epidemic, either naturally caused or intentionally caused, is the most likely thing to cause, say, 10 million excess deaths. To take a new way of building vaccines that could let us develop in less than a year a novel vaccine called DNA RNA vaccines. And so we'll fund a few projects.
Fauci was, we call him the Naiad Nostradamus, because he was literally to the day predicting the outbreak of this pandemic.
There is no question that there will be a challenge, the coming administration, in the arena of infectious diseases, both chronic infectious diseases in the sense of already ongoing disease, and we have certainly a large burden of that, but also there will be a surprise outbreak.
And then the other thing that I aspirationally hope to be able to encounter is the ability to rapidly respond to something brand new, whether it's a brand new pandemic.
With a major shift in the pandemic fight after the FDA gave full approval to the Pfizer vaccine for Americans 16 and up. Afterward, many employers and universities started issuing ultimatums telling workers and students to
fair
get the
use,
vaccine
fair
or
use.
they cannot return
For
in person.
educational
These are
purposes
experimental deadly
only.
jabs that have never gone through randomized, placebo-controlled, peer-reviewed studies that should be necessary to prove something is safe before it can be injected into hundreds of millions of people in our nation alone. The entire process by which the FDA determined emergency use authorization was fraudulent and criminal. And it should be investigated, and those involved in those decisions should, in my view, be arrested and prosecuted by the DOJ. They committed a crime against America, and children, adults, and senior citizens died as a result of their malicious actions because they wanted to create a windfall of profits for Big Pharma. And that crime against humanity, that crime against the American people, continues to this day. The vaccine industry is a criminal cartel, and it's time to shut it down.
I don't think it could have happened without institutional corruption, without this
institutional corruption,
malfeasance in between the agencies, the media, Congress, the pharmaceutical companies. Without this incestuous relationship, I don't think it would have been possible to bring a drug like this that was so dangerous to market, and then not only recommend it, but actually mandate it against people's will. People were held down. People were held down and forced to take this drug.
The CDC is currently recommending that all babies get 3 COVID shots by the time they're 9 months old. That is the government recommending that. That is insane.
The CDC giving the go-ahead following the FDA authorization on Friday.
And the reason why it is so critical to be acting now is that these entities have now basically become one with government.
9 out of the last 10 FDA commissioners went on to work for the pharmaceutical industry.
It should be considered, and I don't know the best way to do this, but If you want to go into service in the government and you want to lead one of these government agencies, let's say in medicine and pharmaceuticals, we should probably come up with a moratorium with you working within that environment.
So within a 4-year period, I think there's a real opportunity on the condition that we can ensure that overreach by the agencies, FDA, FTC in the United States have been a major problem in this area. That could go within the first 100 days of a new administration.
Donald Trump will become the 47th president of the United States.
Frankly, this was, I believe, the greatest political movement of all time. There's never been anything like this in this country, and maybe beyond. This will forever be remembered as the day the American people regained control of their country. And people, these are hardworking people. These are fantastic people, and we can add a few names like Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
He asked me to restore the tradition of gold standard, empirically based, evidence-based science and medicine in our regulatory agencies. There's 1,000 ingredients in our food that are illegal in Europe and other countries. So we're just mass poisoning us, and nobody has chronic disease epidemic like we do in our country. I have said for 17 years, I'm not anti-vaccine. I just want good science. I want people should be able to make informed choices. I am against vaccine mandates. And he asked me to
make America healthy again. Sheriff in town.
There are very few people in the United States of America who are less qualified to lead the Department of Health and Human Services than Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Just last week, Mr. Kennedy suggested COVID-19 was a bioweapon.
By spreading disbelief in science and conspiracy theories, even if he takes no regulatory measures at all, he's going to undermine public commitment to vaccination.
Peddling these anti-vaccine conspiracy theories as our chief health officer is going to endanger the lives of kids and seniors across the nation. After a careful review of Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s statements, actions, and views, materials that I have reviewed personally and closely, I've reached the conclusion that he should not be entrusted with the health and well-being of the American people. When he's taken every side of every issue, how can this committee and the American people believe he has anything to say?
See how they're still pushing
in my
propaganda
advocacy, I often
about
disturb the
the
status
vaccine,
quo.
about the jab, about COVID-19. They're still pushing the propaganda. Yeah, that's factual, bro. Yeah. But y'all see how they're still pushing, you got the people that's against, the COVID-19 shot, and y'all heard my man just say, RFK, he's not against immunization. He's just against the COVID-19 shots. And then you still got them pushing their propaganda with it. Oh, if you don't take it, you're endangering the rest of the world. When we know it was an experimental fucking vaccine that they put on the people. So Big Pharma could make billions, trillions of dollars they profited off of. The corporation profited off of pushing Big Pharma. Yeah, take the shot or lose your job. Like I said, I'm grateful that I was retired and I was out of the workforce because I'd have quit. I'd have left the post office like I did because I wasn't taking no shot. And like I said, right after this time is when 2015, I was retired. I allowed my daughter to get that immunization, and that killed her. That unalived her. So I've been against immunization ever since. And I seen how basically they pushed the flu when people wasn't participating with the flu. That's when they pushed this COVID-19. But y'all see the propaganda. That's why I'm playing the video. Thank all of y'all, man. Let's go.
By asking
Let's see if we can
uncomfortable
finish it.
questions.
We might not be able to finish.
Why are we have the worst health of any country
The
on
worst
earth?
health
Why don't you make the
in
vaccines safe? You're writing all these articles condemning me coming into Washington, dismantling the pharmaceutical paradigm. Where are you getting your salary?
People aren't stupid. We can see what's happening. We can ask the question, cui bono?
Well, I'm not going to apologize for that. We have massive health problems in this country that we must face honestly. And the first thing I've done every morning for the past 20 years is to get on my knees and pray to God that he would put me in a position to end the chronic disease epidemic and to help America's children. That's why I'm so grateful to President Trump for the opportunity to sit before you today and seek your support and partnership in this endeavor. I will conclude with a promise. The members of this committee, to the president, and to all the tens of millions of parents across America, especially the moms, who have propelled this issue to center stage. Should I be so privileged as to be confirmed, we will make sure our tax dollars support healthy foods. We will scrutinize the chemical additives in our food supply. We will remove financial conflicts of interest from our agencies. We will create an honest, unbiased, gold standard science at HHS, accountable to the president, to Congress, and to the American people. We will reverse the chronic disease epidemic and put the nation back on the road to good health. Thank you.
The very people who are now telling us how we should produce food and manage our health are actually the people who have created the crisis in the first place.
All the people here who are defending this current system and defending these pharmaceutical industry profits, many of whom are taking huge amounts of money.
You've said that President Trump asked you to, quote, clean up corruption and conflict. Sounds great.
If confirmed, you would be the cabinet secretary over the CDC. Do you agree that the CDC's work is critical to Georgia, critical for our country, and the
this
health
is
of the entire world?
You made almost $5 million from book deals, mostly promoting junk science.
If you want to move from advocacy,
Raphael Warnock, he was in Georgia. Like I said,
Americans
he was pushing
need
the
to
vaccine.
hear a clear and
Roy, you're a lawyer. What's good?
recantation
Much love and
of
respect
what
you and the family.
you
Roy is a
have
lawyer.
said on vaccinations.
When Big Pharma price gouges, the American people suffer. I think we both agree on that.
How can folks who need to have confidence in federal vaccine programs trust you to be independent and science-based when you stand to gain significant funding if lawsuits against vaccine manufacturers are successful? Is because
I agree, Haru. So many people die from taking it. Yes, that's why
when
I'm
you
showing it
become
now.
secretary, you are all of a sudden going to be consistent with science.
If President Trump tells you to do something,
They either died
you're going
unalive
to do it.
or they suffering different injuries. Cancer, stage 4 cancer is on a high, heart attack. This corporation pushing pacemakers, people getting pacemakers. You know what I mean? All above, man. And that's why I'm showing it, man. How they was able to weaponize propaganda. against the people, man. Shout out old dude for this video, man. I'm gonna keep going to this video, man. They're showing both sides of the argument. The people who for vaccines and the people who ain't for vaccines. I agree, yes. Yeah, they lost their parents because their parents took it. And that's why I'm passionate about this topic. I always have been. I lost a loved one to immunization. And that's why I'm passionate about this. But like I said, I'm gonna finish this video. I'm play as much as I can in the next 10 or 15 minutes. And you know, I'll be back at 8 o'clock and we're gonna be talking about AI and how this, you know, the DOJ, you know, about that sister who's a judge and how they're using AI and other slander tactics to get her out of that judge's position. But yeah, we're gonna play some more of this, man. Shout out to everybody in the house, man. Shout out my brother old dude. Thank you for the video. And thank you for putting the link in the chat for the OG. So we'll probably play about 10 more minutes of it, then I'm gonna have to go. So let's go.
Will you support the development and distribution of vaccines for the avian flu? Yes or no?
If the evidence is there. The evidence is there. The COVID vaccine saved millions of lives, and you're casting doubt.
Are you aware of the vaccine safety data link?
Oh, yeah, I'm very aware of that.
Are you aware of the vaccine adverse event reporting system?
I'm aware of the vaccine safety data link. The CDC keeps under a lockbox and will not let independent scientists
Are you
look at it.
aware of the clinical immunization safety assessment project?
As I said,
Are
we
you
need-
aware of VSafe?
I'm aware that they're broken.
So in the 2 years following the rollout of the shots, 7% of my new patient appointments were people coming to see me with injuries from these shots. I've never seen anything like it in 20 years of practice. Any other product based on the injuries that I have seen would have been pulled off the market a long time ago.
You cannot give pharmaceutical companies, one of the most unscrupulous groups of individuals on the planet, the ability to make dangerous drugs and be held not liable. It's something that needs to go away. This was a big mistake and it needs to stop.
They want the mRNA platform to do well. It's a huge revenue source. They're planning on using this mRNA technology for, you know, in a much wider applications.
You can do early cancer detection with a blood test. And using AI to look at the blood test, you can find the cancers that are actually seriously threatening the person. So we can, again, cancer diagnosis using AI has the promise of just being a simple blood test. Then beyond that, once we gene sequence that cancer tumor, you can then vaccinate the person, design a vaccine for every individual person to vaccinate them against that cancer. And you can make that vaccine, that mRNA vaccine, you can make that robotically, again, using AI in about 48 hours.
There is no way to know what injecting someone with a messenger RNA technology is going to do to that specific individual. And that is because a large number of the side effects that they're going to experience are genetic based, and it's specific to your DNA.
This to me is a huge experiment with, we're watching to see what happens with the human.
A huge experiment.
Technology we can put in them. What's going on with them? Will they even be able to adapt? I don't even think they know what's going to happen. I think they're just going to be like, okay, there's a lot of turbo cancers, a lot of people dying, but there's going to be some that'll actually survive. There's always like some that adapt and survive. You know, that's how they originally did vaccines a long time ago. They injected like 5 horses with a pathogen, and 2 of them would survive. And then they took the antibodies and that was your vaccine. They're trying to get us all plugged into the human 2.0, the cloud or the ecosystem or the matrix electronically. And that's stuff that they can control, the physical component, not the spiritual component and the soul component of everything. But that's exactly what they want. They want everybody connected in so they can gather your data. They can watch where you are. They can control you. There's no privacy left anymore. They monitor every single thing you do. They can monitor everything that's going on inside your body. They can monitor everything, your thoughts, what's going on inside your mind.
Microsoft did a 3-minute video on their technology. They call it
You basically, if you took that shot, if you took that shot, you become property of the corporation or property of Big Pharma. Because basically you gave your consent to taking it. You signed that consent form. Shout out to Stone. What's good, Stone? Much love and respect. Yield. YS Millennium. Grand Rise. Much love and respect, man. I hope y'all enjoying this video. Like I said, I only probably got about 5 or 10 more minutes I can stay live. Because I am coming back at 8 o'clock. And we're going to be talking about at 8 o'clock. I'm going to have a guest. We're going to be talking about AI sex tapes and the DOJ. How really orchestrated the attack on Judge Eleanor Ross. And you already know how I feel about politics, y'all. But yeah, let's get back to this job. Then, like I said, I'm going to shut it down in a couple minutes.
A world where we can do computation inside living cells.
Propaganda, how it's weaponized against us.
Really trying to
Feel
have a
it.
more sophisticated diagnosis.
That motherfucking Power Stone, you already know, man.
Imagine a biological computer that operates inside a living cell.
The type of work that they're doing is essentially they're trying to sense, analyze, and control molecular information.
In this project, we're trying to use DNA as a programmable material.
DNA is highly programmable, just like a computer. And we can program a whole range of complex behaviors using DNA molecules.
The only way to restore trust is pull these COVID shots off the market and hold the people who got it wrong accountable.
If confirmed, Mr. Kennedy, how will you work to regain the public's trust? I suspect it'll take some time in these important public health institutions.
I'm through radical transparency. I'm going to make these
to regain the public
people don't
trust.
The public health agencies
Because I've been lost
trustworthy. And you gave the example of COVID. At the beginning of COVID, everybody was rushing to get that vaccine. We had over 90% vaccination uptake.
Yes, sir.
CDC's most recent recommendation is that Americans take the 8th booster. Only 23% of Americans are complying. That means 77% of Americans no longer trust CDC, and that is the problem.
The biggest problem we have is no one trusts doctors. That's the
How
most
can you
common
trust
question
them?
I get from patients. Who can I go see? What happens if I have to go to the hospital? People are scared to go to the hospital. Everybody that walks in my office is worried about going into the system and having to get care in the system.
We've talked about food issues, and you made it very, very clear. You're not going to tell Americans what to eat, but you do want Americans to know what they're eating.
We have 10,000 ingredients in our food in this country because FDA employs a standard called the GRAS standard and looks at any new chemical as innocent until proven guilty. In Europe, they have 400 ingredients in their foods. Kellogg's makes Fruit Loops for the United States alone. It is loaded with red dye, blue dye, yellow dye, and many, many other ingredients. They make the same product for Canada. It's all vegetable dyes. And for Europe, if you eat a McDonald's French fry in this country, it has 11 ingredients.
Not a coincidence.
The same product in Europe, it has 3.
Big fact.
So I think the issue in this case is big food. So people usually go to the supermarket to buy their
Because nobody that said they took it They won't come. They'll come up here and defend them taking the COVID-19 shot instead of doing research and seeing what's happening about it now. Like they said, it was a modern day experiment where basically the corporation was with the farm pushed the pharmaceutical, industry to push this COVID-19 on the people, man. So shout out old dude for giving me this video, man, because I definitely was listening to it. I said, I got to get that so I can review that. I got to review this. How they weaponize
Do you grow your own
propaganda
food?
against the masses.
So most people don't grow their own food, right?
Against
and most
the
people go to the
masses.
supermarket, they take the oil that's available there. They don't think a lot. They take processed food stuff, and they
Exactly.
usually
Hey, you already know.
It's
You
rich.
already know what it is, my brother. Shout out to Stone. He said no vaccines for me. You already know we ain't pushing that shit over here, man. We anti. So shout out. Yeah, medical poison, food poison, air poison, water poison. Facts, Haru. Facts. That's facts, man. Make America healthy again. Like I said, they pushed obesity was healthy for years, man. Yeah, sounds like genocide to me too, good brother. Sounds like genocide. When we gonna step up and understand that they pushing genocide, man? But yeah, we anti over here. We anti-vaccines, anti-immunization, anti-jab. Basically what I'm saying, I'm basically showing this video about propaganda, how they weaponized it against the people. And a lot of our people still believe the propaganda in 2026. The founding fathers.
Rich and this and this. I mean, like, they can say whatever.
For example, we came out and started fighting against MSG years ago. Okay. What did the big food industry do? They said, okay, we won't use MSG anymore. But they quietly lobbied for 6 months and they got approved over 15 to 20 different alternative names that they could use on the label for MSG. Natural flavorings. How often do you see natural flavorings on the label and you say, oh, that looks good? So we have to go back to square one and say, no, we cannot have any of these artificial names. We cannot have any of these artificial ingredients. If it's genetically modified, it needs to have a big stamp on the front of the food, whatever that food is. This food is genetically modified, and like the warning signs on cigarettes, this food is genetically modified. It has been shown to be harmful for your health. Could cause diabetes, cancer. I mean, can you imagine if we had the same warning that they put on cigarette packs on foods? That's what we need. This food contains 10 artificial man-made ingredients. They might not be healthy for you.
What we see in the world of integrative medicine is we see many of the solutions to the key health problems that we suffer from today that are essentially diseases of lack of adaptation to the modern world and the modern foods and the radiation sources and the huge numbers of chemicals. Most of us are exposed to some 20,000 different industrial chemicals every day. And is that complex of effects that's driving this huge epidemic of chronic diseases.
But we are allowing these companies, because their influence over this body, over our regulatory agencies, to mass poison American children. And that's wrong. It needs to end. And I believe I'm the one person who's able to end.
More and more people are starting to wake up that we're living in a synthetic world. And it's these synthetic compounds that are everywhere, these chemicals, these toxins, these toxic thoughts, these toxic words, these toxic social media, the toxic everything that's affecting us and lowering our vibrational frequencies. So our job and what we're here to do is to try to educate people coming into this new golden age that we're coming into, this new great awakening, to let people know how easy it is to change your environment. This is based on epigenetics, Bruce Lipton stuff. The environment dictates who you are and how healthy you are. And the great thing is the body's, all we're doing is reactivating the best medicine that you have in the world. And that is your own body's self-healing mechanism, the one that God gave you.
We're in this unique position in history where we have an opportunity to do things that our forefathers haven't been able to do, where they have had governments that are totally intertwined with big corporate interests.
Ideally, we just get rid of the administrative state. That's the overall objective. In doing it politically, we have to deal with the feasibility. And the feasibility, I think, is best achieved by defunding, deregulating, stripping jurisdiction. These are the approaches, and doing it all based on a constitutional foundation wherever possible. Because once that's the basis, to overcome it and reestablish it, they have to establish that there's a constitutional foundation, and there isn't one.
This is not just a economic issue. It's not just a national security issue. It is a spiritual issue, and it is a moral issue. We cannot live up to our role as an exemplary nation, as a moral authority around the world, and we're writing off an entire generation of kids.
This is a day of affirmation, a celebration of liberty. We stand here in the name of freedom. At the heart of that Western freedom and democracy is the belief that the individual man, the child of God, is the touchstone of value in all society, all groups and states.
They love saying that child of God.
For that
They love
person's
saying
benefit.
that.
This just in, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has secured the votes and is now the new Secretary of Health and Human Services.
On this vote, the yeas are 53, the nays are 47. The motion is agreed to. The clerk will report the nomination.
Department of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. of California to be Secretary.
Each of us have our own work to do. I know at times you must feel very alone with your problems and with your difficulties.
It was very hard, but I'm glad I did it. And, hard times are very impactful. But I have grown a much stronger, tighter knit community than what I had before. So I say, if you have convictions, voice them and let the chips fall where they may, but you'll be glad you did it in the end.
Moral courage is a rarer commodity than bravery in battle or great intelligence. It is the one essential, vital quality.
Now you talking to me.
God is alone. The God is alone. Now you talking with. The God is alone. The God is alone. Now you talking with. The God is alone. The God is alone. You feel me?
Well, you know, it's so despicable. And think about what kind of monsters take a horrible tragedy like this, a personal tragedy that breaks everybody's hearts. Take a tragedy like this and use it to advance some weird political agenda.
Greatness, walk in the building, now did you miss me? Flat earth don't mean niggas live on the frisbee. Niggas still believe in religion and watch suffering. Niggas put their faith in the system that don't fuck with them. Black gloves cover my hands, committing homicide. Memories, plotting revenge, it left me traumatized. Coming from the bottom and trying to get to the other side. The greatest motivation in life, watching my mother cry. Big corporations still consider it slaves. Freedom got a price, they call it minimum wage. The money make predators, these the sinners that pray. But we ain't never done, new beginnings await. If you ain't fucking with me now, you really think I need y'all? The roller coaster ride of life, it's kinda like the seesaw. But when you get to this view, everything that seems small. It even got these bitches diving mouth first to these balls. Man, shit change when I get in the V, cause I just let my ego drive when I sit in the seats. I mean, I used to be a bummy nigga, simple and clear. Then I cleaned up and turned into the pimp of the year. Any nigga harming a child is a terrorist. Niggas still believe in the book. Need a therapist, you fly, but you catching the bus. This shit embarrassing. Quick to say you stacking them bucks. This shit hilarious. Niggas thought homie was soft, but he a block nigga. Quiet ones always let off. You gotta watch niggas. Legend is 12 was thirsty and tried to stop niggas. Same cat, him and his mans turned into cop killers.
Authorities say the suspect, age 35, deliberately lured the officers to his home with a 911 call, waiting for them, armed with an AR-15 assault rifle.
Hey yo, the chosen one, light-skinned nigga, yeah, the golden one. Father to the fire with this
Man,
shit.
shout
I
out to
control
everybody
the
now.
soul. Niggas did the double cross thing. Got his ball sling, put the barrel under his chin, and made his thoughts ring. But fuck the government, the way that it stands, every branch attached to it, all the way to Japan. I hope niggas break from it any way that you can. It only take a few steps to walk away from the plan. Shit, I hope niggas wake up, learn we gotta win. School shooting made the news, they turning into a trend. They wanna keep you dumb and blind. Voting for your favorite crooks, always for the lesser evil, never for the greater good. Can't sleep, one eye open like a cyclops. Can't believe none of they truth. This shit is psyops. The sunset, the sunrise. Good morning, turn to goodbyes. Meeting at the funeral service. That's when the love dies. Father kills 2-year-old. Now that's a monster. Woman shot her husband alive. He need a doctor. Homie didn't make it, of course. See, that's that girl lost. She did that in front of their kids. And the world saw. It's been a few years in this world. Been on some crazy shit. Desensitized the mind. They made this shit exist. I'm just trying to tell you the truth.
I'll be back.
That's the way it is. Hood Politics Part 4. My name Dangerous.
Peace. Love y'all. Peace.